Mean Girls. That's not 3 hours long.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Late Horror Show.
Hey kids.
I don't need to say our names because I think you know by now, Dino and Ted. I said it anyways. What
That's
the
right.
heck was I thinking? Salem's Lot, 1979, a made-for-TV... What am I?
Miniseries. Two
well,
nights.
2-part, yeah, 2 nights.
Yeah, 2 nights.
But Salem's Lot,
Do you remember
1979.
this?
I do
I was probably
remember.
like 4
I
or
remember
5,
watching
but-
this on TV when I seen it. Yeah.
I watched it. My mom actually came over today.
I was like, hey.
And she watched it with me.
No, it's nice.
And she's like, I remember watching this. She'd never seen it since, but... You know, this is a huge one.
Let me tell you what.
Love this movie.
Yes, and from the moment I was a child to now, you know what I remember most of all, and it's ingrained in my brain? No, not even
Not
that.
even the kids? What?
No. That is part of it.
That's always me. That's all.
No, and it's like burnt into my head. For some reason, when I was a child, at the very end, when they're crawling out of that pit, that doorway, that pit, just crawling out of there. I just remember that.
Wow, okay.
That's
an eerie scene. The eyes.
Oh my
lit up
God. And just in that pit, that little doorway. And I think when I was younger, we had a little tiny, those little doors where you creep down. It's 2 feet off the ground.
Little fruit cellar kind of thing.
Yeah. And that just always...
That's where the boogeymans are.
That got me. But anyways, man, we did one other show over 3 hours, Mad World. It was a comedy. Nothing to do with horror. But we thought... We're doing Salem's Lot, man. I don't see too many reviews or anything up there of Salem's Lot. Let's tackle it.
Right,
Stephen
so
King, Tobe Hooper.
when he gives you the sign.
Yeah, and we'll start it right now, even though we got lots to talk. Should I start it?
Yeah,
we got lots to talk about. 3 hours. We'll get through it. So I'm going to start the movie.
Yep.
There we go.
Start your video, and here we go.
Yeah, I mean,
we start in some town called Zamico, Guatemala.
Zamico.
At least, I mean,
I'm a Zamico, Guatemala.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're gonna get a
prologue and an epilogue.
Prologue and epilogue. Yeah.
That little tie the movie in here.
And we are going to go in deep. And yeah, let's go through this real quick, too.
Right,
Yeah,
this is
David Soul,
and if you don't
Starsky and Hutch fan.
Yeah, my dad had that exact car, the Starsky and Hutch car. Got pictures of it.
Oh,
he had a car just
in real
like
life?
It. Looked just like it.
Cool.
With the stripe and everything.
Yeah.
A lot of you kids might not know Starsky and Hutch. It was just a cool kind of cop 70s show. And if you ever get to see it, maybe if it's on MeTV or one of those weird in between the channels, cool show to watch. Yeah, one that I definitely watched when I was a kid. I think I might have had a toy car of it, or something. I know I had the Evel Knievel motorcycle.
Starsky and Hutch was big, like Dukes of Hazzard. Dukes of Hazzard was a little bit bigger,
sort of,
but it was a little bit bigger. But
the Duke boys were bigger.
Yeah,
I had that car.
Yeah, but it starts off with him, David Soul,
they're in a church.
who plays
Ben
Mears, and Lance Kerwin, who is another kid I remember from.
He's in a ton of stuff.
Oh,
My mom kept saying that too. She's like, I know him. He's been in lots of things.
Oh, tons of made for TV.
Yeah.
I mean, and this was a TV series. He was in James Was 16, something like that. It was a coming of age story.
Okay.
A 16-year-old kid who wet his bed
no.
and would run home every night to change his sheets and stuff. So he became a really good athlete and distance runner.
I guess so.
Don't ask me why I remember that, but I remember seeing it because back in our days, there were made-for-TV movies once a week usually during that time
Yeah,
period.
it was always like a Sunday night.
Yeah.
And you also... You got big name actors in it. Nowadays,
because there was no
TV
cable
movies,
and stuff like that,
which are usually on cable, made for TV movies typically don't have any big stars in them. Typically,
right? And there's the Marsten House, which we'll talk about.
Oh well, first we got to say in the church they're filling up bottles with holy water.
Yes,
and as they're filling them up and getting ready to put them in their bag, you don't really know who they are, what's going on yet. One of them starts to glow blue. And all you hear them say is, "They found us again."
Yeah.
And the kid who is what's his name?
Mark
Petrie says,
the inventor of the Petri dish.
We have to go further.
His father was.
We have to go further. They found us again, and
we'll find out at the end what happens.
Right, he says, "No, not yet."
No, not yet.
And they get ready to leave, and then that's when we get the scene of the old Marsten House.
Or 2 weeks.
It says 2 years later. Or this is 2 years earlier now.
2 years. Okay,
Right.
I'm getting
They were on the
weeks,
run
months,
for 2 years.
2 years. And I'll tell you, this is a 3-hour movie, but this is one of those movies where there's not a lot of dead spots. It's,
no, we're not really. It's not going to be like last week. It's there's always something happening.
Yeah,
the plot is really driven forward.
Tobe Hooper directed it.
Right.
Stephen King, of course, wrote it.
Now, the interesting thing is
takes place in Salem's Lot, Maine. Right. Maine, where Stephen King lives.
Well, yes.
Well, off and on, whatever.
Salem's Lot was Stephen King's second novel after Carrie, and
first book made into a movie.
I think it was. I'm not sure what year Carrie was made. I'm not sure if that was a 70s. I believe
it came out of that. I believe
maybe.
That's what I heard.
But regardless, Stephen King was not yet
take my word on it,
the household name that he is now. He didn't even get his first New York Times #1 bestseller until Dead Zone, which was later on, a couple years later. I mean, he was getting big. He's, Shining was going to be coming out, which did very well. But the Shining movie would be coming out the next year.
Yeah.
But he wasn't quite the Charles Dickens of the modern era that he would become later on. So a lot of people weren't familiar with this book, hadn't read it.
The horror of Charles Dickens.
Yeah, so just to kind of preface with that now we know Stephen King. Every book he makes gets turned into a movie too.
Oh my God! But I think that's because he just churns out the money machine. I don't think he cares.
I think he's pretty gracious about letting people adapt his work, and
that's true.
That's it. I mean, I think he doesn't even really charge much for the rights and stuff too. I mean, he's got more money than God. I mean,
exactly.
And he could stop writing today if he wanted to, but some people wish he would. I don't know. I haven't kept up since the end of the 80s and maybe
Salem's Lot, population 2013.
With the exception of Dark Tower, I haven't really read much else of his lately. So
newer
works.
I mean, bigger stuff is the older horror.
But you'd say like that whole decade of the 80s, you couldn't stop.
Tommy Knockers. Oh no,
book after book after book.
Oh,
and I read
they
them all.
So good. Misery.
But as you were saying, we get Salem's Lot, Maine, or Jerusalem's Lot, Maine.
Right.
It says 2 years earlier from the prologue. And a Jeep pulls up, and we see the same character, Ben Mears, get out, and he's looking at this old house.
The Marsten House.
It's up on a hill, and what you find out later is wherever you are in town, you can see.
I broke out in the song just a little too soon. Yeah. And he happens to get a room that looks like it's like 200 feet away.
Right, we're going to come
from the front of that,
he sees James Mason come out.
James Mason, who plays actor, Richard Straker.
And he's one of my favorite actors. I'm not by any means an expert. I've seen all his films.
Yeah.
But he's in a couple of films I absolutely adore, like Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh, yeah.
And
I mean, we're talking 40s, 50s.
These are like 60s, 50s, 60s. Or Walt Disney's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Blu-ray, please. They even had a showing of it at the theater here not too long ago. I took my daughter to it. We just had a great time. I just watching one of the greatest movies,
Cool.
Love. And he's just, as Captain Nemo, he's awesome. So.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah.
But, again, this is like when you could get a big-name actor like James Mason, in these made-for-TV movies.
Yeah.
He sees him coming out the house, gets in his car, kind of drives by Ben Mears in his Jeep. And he's just kind of looking at him.
Well, it's an odd scene. I mean,
just what he sees Ben looking at him and looking at the house.
Well, the funny thing is, you would think that he would stop. Straker would stop and pull over as he drives by. Ben, hey, is there something I could help you with?
Yeah.
Why are you just pulling up and staring at the house that we just
right.
So yeah, it's very odd, the scenes. There's some things in here I'm like going, but overall, awesome movie.
Well,
great.
It's going to kind of make sense later on because Ben's just he came back. He was born in Salem.
He should have said something though. Whereas Richard Straker, the guy in the black car, which that black car is cool. Mm-hmm. I don't know what kind of car that is, but it's very cool. and he's driving by, and he's like 5 feet as he's passing by. I mean, you could go, hey, what are you looking at?
They make that connection real early.
But it's just a look, you know what I mean? Oh, and Fred Willard's here. I know we're jumping all over the place. Because, it's 3 hours long, but a lot's going on.
Yeah, the first 45 minutes is just character introduction.
Yeah.
So Ben goes into town, and he's coming in town. He was born in Salem's Lot. We haven't found that out yet. He's coming
left
back
when he was 10 or 11.
Yeah, he's coming back to write a book about the Marsten House because it's just been in his mind. He's drawn to it. He feels there's an evil in the very, foundation of the house.
The sense of the word.
The sense of the word.
Evil.
But
can evil really live in the wood, in the foundation of that home?
Well,
we will come to find out.
Yes. Well, we already did a movie all about that called House.
Yeah, we did. Which was one of our... that was a fun show, but anyway. Go back and watch House.
So this is Larry... What is it? Crockett?
Oh.
I think Crockett.
I don't know his name.
He's the local realtor here in Salem.
He was played by Fred Willard, and everybody knows him from a million TV shows from him. He was on Love Boat and you name it. I mean, any 80s TV show... He was in it. But,
and that's the thing. If you watch TV in the 80s, you watch this one, you're like, I know who that is. I know who that is.
Oh, you know them all.
And there's a couple of shout-outs to other movies in here, which I'll point them out as they come along.
And he's a realty...
he's the local realty guy.
Local realtor.
All the property. And
he's got the secretary who he's, making moves on. Her name's Bonnie... Well, Susan Norton is her name, right? Or no?
No. Her name's Bonnie. No, Boom Boom Bonnie, they call her.
Cully Sawyer. No. That's her husband.
Bonnie Sawyer.
Bonnie Sawyer. Okay.
Sawyer.
I'm looking at names and I'm trying to get...
And she's like his secretary.
I'm an old man with Alzheimer's who I can't remember names.
Hey, old man.
What? Oh.
But we're going to find that they've got a little relationship, got a little office romance. She's a married woman.
Yeah.
But he comes in there.
But she's dressed very... Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, she looks like the girl from Saturday Night Fever, who John Travolta slights. Mm-hmm. If you remember that movie, this woman looks almost exactly.
No, it's not.
I don't think it is. I think I look at the credits and she just did made for TV movie stuff too.
Okay.
So, but anyways,
Ben walks into there and he inquires about the Marsten house first, like he'd like to rent it or almost even buy it. It's because I think he would work from inside the house, really immerse himself in it. It's been sold to Richard Straker, James Mason.
Because we say he's writing a book about the house?
He hasn't said it yet, but that's what we're going to find very soon. And so he's just asking for a furnished house or something. There's not one available, so they recommend the boarding house, which is where he's going to go, and he gets a room there, and it just happens to overlook the house. I mean, what a great place if you're going to write a book about that house, just to be able to sit in your room and just stare at it.
Oh, yeah, he's sitting there with the typewriter right in front of him, looking out, and there's the house right there. And don't you like how Fred Willard, I'm just calling him Fred Willard, whatever his name is. Crockett. Okay, Crockett. He's not friendly whatsoever. Doesn't offer him any kind of any help.
No, can't think anything.
Yeah.
Go to the boarding house.
It's like, what the heck?
Real nice guy. Just to kind of speed up a little bit, Crockett then, after Ben leaves, goes across the street to this antique store that Richard Straker. Antiques. It's going to be called Barlow and Straker Antiques. Barlow is the partner of Richard Straker, James Mason. Yeah. And everyone's so excited. Everyone wants to know, when's Mr. Barlow coming in? Yeah. He's very European. And, he's always, James Mason's got this cool... It's not a Vincent Price type voice, but it's on par.
It's unique.
With Vincent Price. Like, it's just a real icy English accent. When he plays a bad guy, he's got that great voice. Yeah. And, he'll be here soon. He'll be here soon. You'll like him. I think he'll like you very much. You'll find he's well worth the wait.
I believe he's on a trip over into Europe.
He's setting up the antique store, and, people are just coming in being nosy. Kind of like that. Hey, when's Mr. Barlow coming in? We're all excited. Blah, blah, blah. So that kind of ends that. And then Ben is kind of out. Is he driving or walking? I think he's walking. I don't know if it's like by a park or
this is
courtyard area. But
I don't even know how they show it. But yeah, we're introduced to what's her name?
Susan Norton.
Susan Norton. And But he drives up, he gets out of his vehicle, and he's just
walking a little.
And he don't know her. It's not like a childhood friend before he left or nothing.
I think he notices his book. She's laying on the ground, drawing.
So was he walking?
I think he got out he used to live here. I think maybe he's just soaking in the old place again.
It looked creepy.
He's been gone for 25 years.
It looked like he was creeping up on this chick.
A little. I think he notices his book. She's got a copy of one of his books.
Air Dancer.
Laying there. And he uses that as the way to his in. He's like, oh, you shouldn't do that to a book. You'll break the binding. And he purposely holds it with the back cover. I'm not even doing it. There's too much to talk about.
No, I know. I know we can't even catch up to the movie.
I know, I'm trying so hard. I don't know how people who get paid to do this do it. But, I'm trying. If you think you can do better, do better. And he's holding up the book, and she looks, and he's got his picture on the back.
Yeah.
They strike up a conversation, and
strike it up.
Through the course of that conversation, he asks her out.
Yeah.
And that's going to begin their relationship.
Yeah, it didn't take long. He put the moves on her. He's an author. And she actually was lying a little bit about stuff. Like, I read your book, your prior book. And he goes, what was the name? She goes,
Can't remember.
Like, she was immediately hitting on him, too, saying, hey. So they had some kind of connection. And,
so they'll develop a relationship.
She looks like a young Meryl Streep, in a way.
A bit.
Yeah.
So then they're going to have a date. They're going to go out for dinner, and
they're going to eat dinner. He's going to eat something.
They inquire.
She wants tube steak and.
Oh jeez.
But
sorry, kids.
He
he asks if she's seeing anybody. She's like, no, not really. Well, she kind of is. And she asks because the book says he
Ted Netters
said he was Ned Tibbets. And she asks, because the book says the flap says he's married. He says that she passed.
She passed away.
Yeah. We'll find out it was a car accident
2 years ago.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
So.
And he had a cat too that he said. He was really
Sammy.
Really depressed. He said he went through depression for
and it got ran over by a car too, and it's just.
Well, he was in the back seat in the luggage.
Yeah.
They thought they could carry him along.
Didn't work out.
Slap him on the plane.
And then Ben will do this a couple times. He just kind of like creep up on the Marsten house. And just a little tidbit here, they in the book, this house it's like a big psycho house, up on the hill. It is,
kind
of. They could not find a house, a big house like that up on the hill.
So
there was a smaller house they built on it to make it look like how they wanted it to look.
And they spent $100,000 at the time.
Yeah, a lot of money to build
just for that house.
Right. And you pointed out a cool fact that, we did Dawn of the Dead a couple of weeks ago, and how George Romero had Hollywood money.
Right.
And, he did the best he could with his effects. Here you got just a made-for-TV movie, but it's backed with Hollywood money.
Yep.
And how much, just the vampire effects and of the actors that become vampires. How awesome, the makeup and the effects
If they
are.
really want to, Hollywood really wants to back stuff, they will.
Right.
I mean, I'm not sure why.
Here's one of your guys here. This is is that Elijah Cook Jr.? No, or Paul Winchell or
I can't remember his name,
but But he's in Maltese Falcon. I know he's in one of your fave movies.
He's big in film noir. This guy. He's your typical
weasel.
Yes.
Just sitting outside drinking out of his brown paper bag.
You caught me off guard there.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of the old black and white film noir stuff. And he's
Kubrick noir, the early
Maltese
Kubrick
Falcon, and
films.
that was his typical role that he would play, like the thin, skinny, tough guy who wants to be tougher than he is.
Yeah,
he was never that tough, but behind that gun, he was a tough guy.
I think he was even in House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price. I believe he's in that film too.
House on Haunted Hill.
So, we were saying that Ben Mears is kind of just, it's night. He's staring up at the Marsten house.
Yeah.
And Richard Straker sneaks up behind him, kind of walking up. And they just pass, and he just says, good evening. And he goes on his way for a walk. So it's
he says it like that. He goes, good evening, my dear sir.
So they've had that kind of close
in that James Mason voice.
Well, yeah, because it is James Mason. It's not hard for him. He can do it real good. And Benny's driving through town, and the sheriff sees him.
Benny.
What is I can't remember the sheriff's name. We'll just call him the constable.
Constable.
Because that's what he calls himself. He calls himself the constable.
Does he call himself the constable?
He does.
Oh my God! Now see, we're going by quick, man. Here
Weasel, it's like, you know who that guy is? He's like, he's a writer who lives in the boarding house. He's like, just keep an eye on him. And he's like, what's he done?
Yeah.
Like, just
he's already got.
What's he done?
Yeah, this constable has already got like And
small town, man.
It's a small town. And he's
strangers.
Got his eyes on him and going,
just keep an eye, see what he's up to.
Yeah.
And
can you keep? Yeah, go.
He's like,
basically,
he killed 18 people.
Yeah.
It's like he murdered 18 people. You know why? Because they all kept saying,
What have you done? What's he done?
So,
yeah. Oh,
and his face is just like, oh, no.
He goes, you kidding me? You kidding me? Oh, my God.
We see the Jeep drive by the cemetery. We get a brief view of character's name's Mike. He's kind of like the groundskeeper at the cemetery. He must live there or something because he's got.
Yeah, usually the groundskeeper in these movies do. They got no life. They're half drunk sometimes.
Dog named Faithful, I think, that just does nothing but bark. It's a vicious looking animal.
Yeah, Roddy maybe a Roddy pit mix. I don't know. It was some kind of
mutt.
Oh, Golden Girl.
Here we go. So now,
what?
Boom Boom Bonnie comes home. Boom Bonnie comes home, and
she's got a little jig going on.
Yeah.
Little thing.
Her
she's
husband,
going to
Cully.
Yes.
Cullen. Sitting there just drinking beer after beer, and after you finish your beer, you got to crush the can. You pour the beer in the coconut.
Cully Sawyer.
Cullen Sawyer.
Cully Sawyer.
Cully Sawyer.
And Bonnie Sawyer. That's the two. The
You could just tell, man, he ain't too happy to see her, and we're going to come to find he very much suspects his wife of infidelity, and his suspicions are correct.
Yeah, I think
he's going to get a great scene later on.
Yeah, I think that's why
any man that's been cheated on be happy with this.
Yeah, so. I think that's why you get the relationship right off the start. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no backstory, and you don't know why. No. Well, you kind of do at the beginning.
Honest, their story isn't even that important to the plot of the film, really.
No, not at all.
Not even halfway through the film, they're going to kind of disappear, and you never see them again. So.
Yeah, that happens, and but yeah, you kind of get a glimpse of it back at the realty office at the beginning when she's kind of flirting with the guy, and Fred Willard, whatever.
Yeah, she's open for business.
What's his name again?
Crockett, Larry Crockett.
See, I got to remember all the names, and I watched the movie last night.
But now here, this scene here. First off, he's having dinner with Susan and her parents. He's meeting them, and then we get a flash to the boarding house where Weasel, who we find has been
married.
The woman who runs the boarding house. I can't remember her name. Forgive me.
But
they were married at one. Weasel and this lady were married,
landlady,
and got divorced. But he still lives there. They're still friendly. Now, the cool thing, or this is a little shout out, is in the Stanley Kubrick film, The Killing.
Yeah.
They had a relationship in that film, these two actors.
Oh,
so
really?
if you know some of your Kubrick movies, and
The Killing.
I think that's even online. You could find some more information.
Big film noir one. Yeah.
But yeah, both of these actors were
early
in
Stanley
The Killing.
Kubrick.
Very early. Before he kind of found his real true voice, I think.
But
still a cool noir film, kind of about a big racetrack heist. Mm-hmm. So that was what that film's about.
Cool. Wow, so that's kind of cool.
I mean, a lot of actors here if you know older movies.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I'm telling you, man, look at this chick. She looks like Meryl Streep, man.
She's cute. She's cute in that kind of way. She's like a school teacher. She talks about her dreams of going to the big city and working, and it sounds like she really doesn't want to be here in Salem's Lot anymore. But this is that,
and we'll come to find out
safe
why
place to retreat.
Bit. Yeah, I mean, she basically lost her job.
And I know her mother in this film.
Yeah,
I've seen her in something before, but I can't place her. I want to say like maybe Little House on the Prairie or something like that. But,
oh God, it could be.
I
think they plucked a lot of made-for-TV actors and actresses in this.
I guess if you worked on another show on that channel, you were in,
they're like, hey, you want to come in here and play the mother for the show?
We get the feeling that her father, who's a doctor, Dr. Norton, likes him. And we get the feeling that the mother kind of doesn't really, and that's because she's dating someone else. They even mention it when Ben and Susan are walking out. They're going to go out.
Ben and Susan, that's so weird.
Hey, Susan, man, it's really weird. She says, "Oh, my mother doesn't like anybody if they're not named Ned Tebbets." And he's like, well, "Who's that?" And she's like, "Nobody."
Makes you wonder why the heck she likes that guy.
In a small town like this, what other choices did she have?
He's a big a-hole, man. When we reach that character, he's just...
Well, when he feels slighted, I mean, she is cheating on him. In a way, they had a relationship. She is cheating on him.
They had one, though, but...
Well, I think they were still, maybe it just wasn't like a steady, you're my steady and I'm your man kind of thing. But, maybe the date on Saturday night was implied. I don't know.
You know who else she looks like too?
Who's that?
What's her name here? She also looks like Mary Stuart Masterson.
Could
from
be.
Some Kind of Wonderful, many other movies,
Maybe.
She looks a little bit like her.
Maybe.
Yeah. But anyways, it's not her. I'm just saying she tends to look like a lot of these, Mare Street.
They got that look.
Mary Stuart Masterson.
She got the look. So they're going for a drive, and they're kind of sharing their past experiences in life.
My book.
And he's like, well, where are we going? He's asking, like, what are we going to do? She's like, well, we could go to the movies and Bangor. I forgot she mentioned.
The movies in Bangor?
Bangor, Maine, the movies.
Well, because he gives her some nice choices for a gentleman.
Yeah.
She says, the lake.
She's like, or the lake.
We can go by the lake.
He's like, well, which one do you want to go to? She's like, the lake.
Yeah, we can go there.
Bless her heart.
And I think she even says here, what does she say? She's pretty upfront on everything, and she says,
She asks a lot of questions. She's like, I've got a habit of asking a lot of questions. And he's kind of. I like the way he talks, the way he enunciates, and he just sounds like a guy that is a writer, I guess.
I was going to make a point with his character in this movie that he is very. I love his character. David Soul's a great actor. I even think didn't he play the Charleston Heston version in Planet Apes made-for-TV series? Did he?
No, that was Ron Harper.
Was it? Okay, so different.
I know him because he was also in Land of the Lost as well. So.
Okay, that's right. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yep,
See,
Ron Harper.
If you're thinking 70s, 80s, it's got a click in your head here. Okay, so he
currently
did.
on MeTV if you have that station anywhere else in the country. The
old
Planet of the Apes TV show is back
Planet
on
of
there.
the Apes TV
Lasted
show.
like 13 episodes.
Oh, I got them all though, man.
It was a cool show. I mean,
it was.
The makeup effects and everything were just as good as anything else in the.
Well, God,
but it makes no sense in the context of the movies.
The last, exactly. In the last,
all the humans talk.
You are human. I am ape.
There's some
ape lord. But what was I getting to? Oh, his acting in this movie. And here he is sitting, looking out the window. We're just jumping here. In the office, that's where you get the clear glimpse. He's sitting there drinking his coffee typewriter, looking straight at the Marsten House.
And what an eerie looking house it is, too.
Yeah, reminiscent of Psycho.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got that look.
I sure get that vibe.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think that's what they were going for.
But I could tell you, and of course, people, we're not spoiling nothing. This is an old movie, but...
My God, if you haven't seen it yet.
Exactly. Or read the book if you're a fan. But his acting in here is great. And like you said, the way he speaks and the way he did the role was just awesome. When we get to the end, when stuff starts hitting the fan, I started going, okay, why'd you change direction so quickly and become kind of this klutzy, scared? I mean, I understand, but it totally
he's not
offset.
a hero, He's not a...
No, he's not. He's a writer.
Even
up to that point, though, I was thinking he was this strong...
I guess it's different than when you come face to face with it. And that's a point I'll bring up, like, when the priest comes on, too. Because, I got some things to say about that.
You do.
And, as far as, the house is pretty much as described in the book. I read the book in high school, and I haven't read it since. I've only read it one time.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. But I've been out longer than I was in. So, but in the movie version, the story is essentially the same. They did take some characters away. Some characters are amalgams of two different characters. And when we get to the vampire Barlow himself later on, the vampire in the movie is completely different than the vampire in the book. The vampire in the book is more Bela Lugosi, European, sophisticated, suave, talks. The vampire in this film does not talk.
No.
And, because that just wouldn't work for the movie. You got a 3-hour movie. You got to pay off with a vampire in the second half. You got to have some scares. And you'll get them.
And I'm not going to say that this is one of those movies where the vampire doesn't show up till almost the very end of the movie.
2 hours in. About 2 hours in before you get even a look.
Yeah.
And
but
see, these are TV
it didn't bother me, though. It didn't bother me.
No.
I mean, because
the TV movies, you didn't have the gore that you could have in the theatrical features.
And you had a couple really cool
atmosphere
scenes
movie,
and atmosphere and stuff going on before.
And there's some definite chills in this movie, especially the kid actors.
Oh, yeah.
When that happens, give you shivers, man. Those are the scenes I remember.
And the vampire
when this was on TV.
Yeah, the floating. Yeah, when we get to that.
And they originally did try to make this a theatrical film, but they just couldn't find a script that really worked with the story. And then they were about to just forget it. And they got the idea. Let's maybe try to do it as a TV movie. Do it like in October, November, and then flesh it out a little bit more. And the script worked better that way. It did eventually. They chopped this up to like a less than 2-hour version that played in theaters in Europe, and that was even on maybe DVD and VHS. Some people prefer that version. And
this is a good time to throw out. Don't ask me why, and this happened a lot during this. It still might happen, but Spain released it in their country as Phantasma 2, which was a sequel to Phantasm. Had nothing whatsoever to do with the storyline.
I would have loved.
They released it. Phantasma
on
2
that before the show. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
very odd. Was that like on IMDb?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't look on IMDb.
But they did that with a lot of movies back then when they would release.
How cheesy to live in Europe. These weird movies.
Yeah, can you imagine watching Phantasm and you're told, Phantasm 2 is coming out,
right?
And you go to the theater, and
but there is a Phantasm 2.
Exactly.
Confusion.
Yeah, and you're in Spain, and you're looking at this movie, going, "What? Whatever they say.
I like it, but
what is this?
Yeah.
This is the whatever. I mean, it's Phantasm 2. Come on. But anyways, Europe has a record of doing that to films.
Yeah.
And don't ask me why, but
Dawn of the Dead, Evil Dead, they did that too.
Yeah.
Why did Crockett just go into the antique store again? Was he just being nosy again?
I think he was getting ready to set up for the.
Is this where he asked him about picking up the?
I think so. Didn't he have the
okay.
notepad in his hand and all that?
Richard Straker has called on Larry Crockett across the street to please come over again and asks him a favor. He's got a very large crate coming in. Is it in Bangor? I don't remember where.
Bangor. I keep saying Bangor.
Portland,
Oregon.
Portland, Maine.
He's gone.
There's a Portland over
Maine.
there too.
Yeah, that's true.
And he needs him to arrange for a truck to pick that up, take it to the house. Very specifically, he says the house. He says it's a sideboard. Which I guess, sideboard, like maybe for a bed or a piece of furniture or something. Yeah,
he's given him very specific orders.
He's like, you will also procure for me 4 sturdy padlocks. And he wants the men to, and this is interesting, because he almost has a worried look on his face, Richard Straker, James Mason does when he's saying it. He wants them to take it in through the bulkhead, like remember, like in Wizard of Oz, they had that door that would open and go into the cellar of the house. Doorway, That's where he wants them to take it into.
I call it a secret passage.
Secret passage, yeah.
Although it's not too secret.
Leave the keys in the basement.
It's not a passageway because it's steps going downstairs.
And lock the bulkhead
doors. So I take
doors,
that back.
The front door and the back door. He wants a padlock on each of those doors, basically to keep Barlow in the house. And it almost seems, even though we find that Richard Straker's character is the man who paves the way for him, I don't know. In some scenes, he's in awe of him. In some scenes, like in this one, seems like he's almost a little scared of him. Just a little worried about how this is all going to go down. And
did you get that feeling?
I did in that scene.
Okay,
he just seemed very worried.
I must have just passed that on by, but I know
it's the subtle acting of James Mason.
Exactly, yeah.
Man knows what he's doing.
But you gotta like Crockett's.
Yeah.
Davy Crockett plays in this movie. Don't ask me why. But Fred Williams.
Oh, you know he doing it.
Fred Willard was he was in the Rockford Files, wasn't he?
Wasn't he? He almost looks like James Garner, but.
Oh no! Yeah, that's right. 2 different people. He does look like James Garner.
He almost looked.
Oh my god!
I always thought. In the 80s.
Yeah.
Growing up, like when they cast Michael Keaton as Batman, I always thought James Garner would have looked like a really cool Batman. He's just got that chiseled chin. I mean, he was too old.
Right.
But he's got that cool look.
Younger.
Yeah, like a younger. James, like if you go like in the 70s, James Garner would have been awesome. That he's got that perfect chin for the cowl.
Yeah, true.
Or if they did like a live action version of Dark Knight Returns, the graphic novel, I thought he'd have been perfect. An older, grislier Batman.
Ned Tebbets.
Yep.
Okay, well, yeah. The point I was going to make really quick is when he was in there getting the instructions on what to do and all that, Crockett pretty much was just like, okay, got it.
To Maine, Portland,
there you go.
padlocks.
Not really...
Not paying attention to the details.
Yeah, so, why things might get a little mixed up or messed up here in a bit, we'll find out. Right. But anyways...
then we find that Cully Sawyer, the husband of the Boom Boom Bonnie who's fooling around with Crockett, he's the guy who's supposed to got hired to go pick up the crate.
Yes.
But he's got other plans this evening. So he goes up to Mike, remember the guy that's groundskeeper of the graveyard?
Yes, I remember.
And, says, hey, you want to make $50 tonight? You need to get another man.
$50.
But, I need you to go pick something up for me. He's like, I got something else I got to do tonight. Can't make it. That other man's going to be Ned Tibbetts. The very next scene, we meet Ned Tibbetts because he's kind of following Susan around and sees her walking with Ben. And,
giving him the skull and the dirty look.
Yeah, and she notices him and she's walking with Ben. And
she did hold on, I'm going to go talk to him.
You want me to go talk to him? No, just stay here. And, he even says, you said you loved me. That was 100 years ago. I mean, see, that's what I'm talking about. She broke his heart. And making a fool out of him in a small town.
But he was gone. Nevertheless,
I know,
anyways.
But when he takes that shot at him, I feel like he kind of had the right to do it.
But when they were at the truck, no, I get you. I'm sure I would feel the same way, probably.
Yeah, you would.
But sorry, we're looking at Boom Boom.
Yeah,
Bonnie
Boom Boom over here. I'm sorry. I don't know, man. She's weird looking, but you look at her. Like, she's got that kind of odd hair.
Well, it's 79. I mean, come on. That's the way they look.
It's
later when she's in the gold hot pants and the
gold
top.
Blue.
Blue.
Yeah.
But silk, But anyways. When he makes has the two guys are asked, what's his name for the grave guy?
Yeah.
He, $50 and they're going to split it, I guess, 25 each. I'm like thinking... Is that? I know it's 79.
In 2016 money, it's...
Yeah, is that really, enough to get me to drive out there and lug all this out? I guess in a small town, if somebody's giving you beer money, a night at the bar, I guess you'll go do something for a few hours. I don't know. But...
Well, we'll just take it as is.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, they're going to go
small details. The small details.
A cool little scene at the realty office where Cully's there saying goodbye to his wife because... under the impression that he's going to be driving all night. He's like a trucker, hauler, and that he's going to be gone all night.
I'm a hauler. I'm a brawler. I'm a midnight stroller.
Well, yeah,
what?
That's pretty good.
Oh.
So, yeah, he's giving her a kiss, being all friendly. He's even telling Crocker there, hey, you stay away from her now. She's mine.
Yeah. He goes, I will.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah. While they're in there, and she's looking out the window. Is he gone yet?
He's like, she's like, hey, how long are you going to be gone, baby? He's like, well, with all this, it's going to be 5-6 hours.
Yeah, it's after midnight sometime.
Yeah, way after midnight. So he's going to leave, and he's just eating it up. And I think Larry actually suspects something right there. He doesn't feel very good about it. And as a man, I wouldn't feel good about it either. It's just like, nah.
No, every time that happens, I stop.
Yeah,
I'd say, oh.
You stop. She's like, oh, he wouldn't kid if he was, if he suspected something. Right. Like, well, if you knew what he had in store, you might.
She's so giggly and whatever. I ain't going to say.
So, yeah, they're going to have a little rendezvous.
Rendezvous.
Interlude.
Interlude.
Yeah, interlude.
Yeah.
So, so it's going to be Mike and Ned taking Cully's truck to pick
Ted
up.
said Mike and Ned, and it is Mike and Ned.
Mike and Ned.
So, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think so. I love he's got his 6-pack of beer, man.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, you go on. You leave the truck here tonight. And I love how they do talk with that New England accent, a lot of the actors. Not all of them, but a lot of them
Maine.
do. Which I think is good. I think that's good on the part of the actor there, just, to make it more real. And they even use some of the words that are, exclusive to that area. What do they call the children? Yowans. Which, it's kind of cool.
Christopher Walker says Yowans.
Yowans. So, yeah, they're going to do their drive out there and pick up that crate. But I think, don't they even talk about... Are you listening to me?
You just keep driving.
I'll let him go off here. Do your thing, man.
Crash into it. Remember when he was talking to Woody Allen? Christopher Walken and Woody Allen and Annie Hall? When he meets he meets Annie Hall's brother, Christopher Walken, and he's really plays a really weird part in that movie.
That is true.
And Woody, he goes, what was Woody's name in the movie? He goes, "Can you come here and talk to me a second?" And he's just sitting there at the end of the night. He goes, "Have you ever just wanted to drive into the headlights and crash and just die?"
Christopher Walken.
And the way he said it was just,
of one.
Oh, it was just awesome. You know? That is one of the most classic scenes in a lot of Woody Allen movies because I love Christopher Walken so much, and Woody Allen is one of my favorites. And that scene, and Woody Allen walks out of the room and he goes, Good luck with that, Sonny. He just walks right out. And it just,
what do I even say to this?
Yeah, he just walked. Good luck with that.
We forgot to mention a part here. That Ben.
Oh, and then the next thing.
You're gonna do this.
No, I'm sorry. Just keep your mind. But when Woody Allen was walking, we gotta do a Woody Allen movie.
We
anyways,
will.
Well, okay, we got an idea. We'll talk about when we have a break. But when he goes down and he's leaving with Annie Hall, Woody Allen, the father goes, "Here, drive him to the airport." and the whole way to the airport, you can see the beams of the car go, and he's driving like 100 miles an hour. It's like
just to get him there.
Woody Allen's going. But anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
We forgot to mention that Ben Mears goes to visit his old school. Kids are putting on a pageant about the town and the history of the town. But he reconnects with his old English teacher, who was one of the people that inspired him to become a writer. His name's Jason Burke, I think.
Yeah, or Jason. The Argonauts or something.
Something like that. Jason. We'll just call him Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
But then later on, they're going to meet at the bar.
And Ben goes, "Hey,
they're gonna
how you doing? We're going friends.
They're going to have a...
You made me become who I am." He goes, "Really?
I'd like to hear more about that." So yeah, so just because they meet for dinner and the character of Jason, his old teacher, is going to
Germex down here.
Really, play a bigger role.
Yeah.
What?
Germex touched you.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty clean. I mean, this is the hand I wipe with, but
I'm joking.
Oh god! Now, what I like is when the guys are picking up the crate.
You like that?
They notice that it's cold.
Yeah, this is odd.
Ice cold. They touch it like this thing is
weird.
Ice cold.
This is weird. I don't know. This is an odd part that they throw. Was this in the book? I don't remember.
God, like I said,
because
I basically said everything about the book that I can remember.
Because evidently the vampire's in this big gigantic box, and it's actually frozen to the point of you touch it, you're like, ooh,
I mean, there's no ice or anything visible on it.
No,
it's
but they go, oh my god, this is freezing.
Touch, it's cold.
I mean, he's got to put his sleeve up and to move it and stuff. And I'm like going, vampire-wise,
it's making the whole truck cold. Like they're sitting there, he's sitting there like this in the truck.
Turn the heat on. It's hot outside, but turn the heat on. I mean, I don't get that part of the vampire. Why it would do that?
Maybe because he's the master. I don't know.
I think he threw that in there. I mean, and you know what? He goes off a little differently. I mean, there's no mirrors. They don't talk about that. They do bring up the crucifix.
Yeah, that's pretty stock, I think.
But there's not too much other.
Except in the Anne Rice books, they don't do anything. But I don't believe they did.
Yeah, we'd have to really dig into that one time.
I think the only, sunlight and coffins was like, the thing.
Right,
in those books.
Yeah, it was, well, that's what makes the Vampire Chronicles so deep. I mean, they don't worry about, oh my god, your reflections and this and that. They were true monsters, true vampires.
I wouldn't say they were true monsters. They made them all miserable.
Well...
Like the vampire in this movie is a monster.
No, right. No. Exactly.
Made them pitiable.
Yeah. Oh, here comes
humanized them. Yeah, Boom Boom. She's waiting. She's wearing this turquoise-colored one piece thing with pantyhose. Oh, and we also got to mention as Colin was walking away from the graveyard, he could hear Mike's dog, Faithful, barking, just like, shut up! And then you just hear, whoop!
Yeah, like something got him.
You just pan over and you see the dog is just dead laying there. We're going to presume that was Straker, because Barlow obviously hasn't entered the picture yet. So I don't...
Yeah, why would he have
We never actually find out who kills the dog.
Yeah, you know what?
I would presume Straker, but...
Because that don't make no sense.
I mean, there's no reason for the vampire to kill the dogs.
No, or Straker. Why kill that dog?
I mean, it was annoying.
They threw it in there. That's all we know. Anyways, right now, Cullen is down. Cullen?
Yeah, he's just making his way back to his house. He's
Cully.
Making his way back home. With his beers.
And he's sitting on the stoop waiting for... Whoa! Waiting for... Nobody heard that, did they?
Oh.
A lot of gas going around here. Oh, yeah, you'll hear it.
Right,
anyways,
cool. Smell-o-vision.
Okay, so really quick... Bonnie's up there and she gives Crockett a call on the telephone.
You better get over here.
Up. But he didn't want to. He said, "No, I don't think that's the right place to come. Can't you come somewhere?
Go with the gut.
Come here. But she forced him and said, "No, it's more exciting. Come here.
She's a filthy animal.
She is. And then we get to
Mark.
Great part of this movie. Okay, this stood out to me as a child too because I love this. Look,
he's a monster kid like we were.
Yeah, look at all the stuff I got in front of my set here. These figures,
and there's way more that you can't even see back here.
Oh, yeah.
We need a wider lens. We need like Panavision.
180 degree.
We need like a Sergio Leone kind of thing going on.
But
here.
this kid, Mark, has got. He's got the setup, man.
Yeah,
he's got a little nook cut in the wall too with experimental
I think it's like his paints and his
poly resins and stuff to make
there's a lot of models. Looks like the Aurora model kits in there.
Yeah, Aurora Borealis.
He's got his monster posters on the wall.
He's got
pictures.
A puppet back there, one of those little things.
Hung on a noose. Looks like Charlie McCarthy painted green. Yeah, hanging on a noose.
Yeah, but this dude's got all the posters. He even does the old little plastic model kits, Universal
the Auroras. That's what I was saying.
Okay, there you go.
Aurora model kits.
Yeah. This kid's room is just hooked up. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Anyways, that's a great scene. The room's a little depressing because it's really dark.
It is.
And, you think the kid might have some depression issues later.
He seems like a pretty nice kid.
He does.
He just likes magic and monsters and stuff like that. His parents are always giving him grief.
Yeah.
But, it's just like, he just stayed into it maybe a little bit longer than some other kids did. But,
we're still into it.
I was going to say, you kind of fall out of it for a while, but then as an adult, you kind of like, oh man, this stuff is... When you realize everything else sucks... And how cool that was.
Heck yeah,
so
man.
That's how we kind of all are. It's like I'm just eating a big bunch of member berries. If anybody watches South Park and knows what that is.
Member berries.
Member berries.
Oh, that's awesome.
Member berries. Member edits.
Remember this. Remember that.
I love the ones that remember the 90s. Yeah, but remember the 80s.
You thought the 80s. The 80s were so cool.
Yeah. Oh, we got dinner with Jason and Ben.
Yes.
They're kind of reconnecting, and here's where he's talking about his book, writing about the Marsten House, and he's going to talk about this horrible thing that happened to him as a child.
Yeah,
where he was dared to. Well, his aunt worked in that house as like a housekeeper,
right?
And this house evidently belonged to like some. What was it? Well, I can't remember his name. Hobie Marston, something like that.
Yeah.
He was like a gangster or something like that.
Yeah, big kind of guy.
Like an old retired gangster or something. And the house was always rumored to be haunted. And, no one ever talked about what, was going on. Anybody that was in that house didn't talk about what was going on in that house.
Yeah.
But that he was dared to go in there one time as a kid.
Well, and you found out, though, or are you going to say that? What happened in there?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to get into.
Okay, go ahead.
But, he was dared to go in. He went in and he had a... basically like a vision or not a vision. He saw the guy, like hung himself in the house.
Didn't he kill his family? He had a wife and a child?
I believe that happened.
And then
even the guy who built the house way back when also like killed his wife and a servant and stuff like that. So the house has
and that's why
those associated with the house has a history.
Right. And that's why he keeps going into he goes over and over. He says a couple times, do you believe that evil can be really present in the wood, the foundation? Can a place be just totally
inherently evil?
And he
says you certainly see like trees that look like tortured souls and things like that.
Yeah.
I suppose it could be, and you could just tell like for 25 years. He says I've never forgotten that, and it's just been in my mind, and that's drawn him back to Salem's Lot after being gone for 25 years, and finally coming back because no one remembers him. Like even when he goes to the boarding house when he first, she's like, "Oh, why'd you come here? We don't usually get strangers." Like, I'm not a stranger.
Yeah.
You know, this is my home. This is where I grew up. But
if you're there till you're 10 years old, I mean, I guess that makes you not a stranger.
Well, that's where he was born. It's his home, his childhood home.
Yeah.
And so they kind of just had sort of that little philosophical discussion about that, and he even makes the comment, do evil places, attract evil people? And Jason even says, he's like, and Ben interrupts him. He's like, yeah, why am I so drawn to it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
true. Man, I knew we should have brought snacks or something down. Or
chips we should be having popcorn or those gooey eyeball peeled grapes or something.
Should have had you stop at Taco Bell and bring some Mexi Melts. Or...
Yo quiero Taco Bell. They got those good little chicken rolled taco things. I don't know.
Chicken rolled taco things.
I don't need a Taco Bell.
Do you pull up? Do you go, 3 chicken rolled taco things?
Chicken roll. I don't. Try to watch the drive-through kind of food, man. I used to work that, you don't want to mess with that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Ages ago.
Okay, so yeah.
Best job I ever had. The least amount of responsibility you could ever have in a job.
True.
Well, yeah, you've worked in food before, too. Yeah, whatever. There's sling this hash.
And we go and eat that stuff.
I need those Big Macs right away, buddy. That's not all you need. You can mouth off to the manager, because he's like in your English class.
Oh man! So we were just introduced to the 2 other kids,
the Glick boys,
the Glick brothers,
Danny and Ralphie,
and they come.
Ralphie!
They come to Mark's room to rehearse the play, which he, I think, wrote.
Yeah, it sounds like Mark had a big hand in writing the play or writing the pageant, whatever it was about this year. So,
and you got to love how his father constantly comes in and goes, "Did you get your homework done?" And his reply is, "Oh, that was done a long time ago."
Yes, sir, a long time ago.
Yeah. So,
but I believe him.
Yeah, no, I mean, because he's a writer. He's really deep into what he does. He seems like a very intelligent kid.
Yeah.
And he's just into this, monsters and all this good stuff.
Yeah, his dad comes up and says, "Hey, Glick boys, your mom called. You gotta go home. Get out of here."
Yeah.
And they make some plans to maybe go to their house tomorrow and rehearse again.
Yeah, is that all right, Mr. Petrie?
Yeah, sure it is.
Sure it is.
And he even says, so he just picks up some little monster toy center. He's like, Mark, when are you going to outgrow this stuff? And he's like, pretty soon, I guess. Who cares, man? Ain't bothering nobody.
There he goes. He touches it like he's got frostbite.
Yeah, look at that. They
we're
both
back
are.
With they're both in
Ned
the truck
and Mike again. And he's just like, well, come on, we got to get it out of here. So let's just do it.
So I
hip.
Don't
heave,
get why that.
Oh.
Hip, heave, ho.
Oh,
my back. Oh.
Yeah, that's what I would say right then and there. Oh, my back.
My back. What you doing? And he's pushing it with his sleeves. I mean, that's how cold it is. I
guess.
It's very odd.
They should have some sliders for that thing.
Yeah, those little round things, they'll just slide right off.
Almost there was carpet back there.
Well, I did wonder why the heck they were pushing it like this. I mean, don't they at least have a big, gigantic dolly of some sort? Or
evidently not.
I mean, it wouldn't have been that hard to do. But anyways, they get there,
what are you gonna do?
and they get to the doors that are on there, and then they shoot over to
the Glick Boys.
Taking a shortcut
through the spooky woods, full of mist and fog and darkness, and you do gotta love if this was real, even if it was a full moon out, you can't see the hand in front of your face, and they're able to make their way through this forest, which it looks like
we talk about this all the time. There's spotlights everywhere.
Yeah,
they gotta have light for the film.
I guess
shot in Panavision,
but some wind starts picking up. Excuse me, this really is the late show.
The older boy,
he jumps over a little creek.
He says, "I'm cutting through here."
And he jumps.
And the younger boy sits there, and a hurricane comes.
Yeah, basically, some really strong winds kick up, and that kind of distracts him. He doesn't follow his brother, and then you just get the big shadow of some figure comes ahead of him. We're going to find that that's Straker.
Who isn't really a big figure. He's a small guy.
Right.
James Mason.
But you know what? James Mason comes at me in the dark with that silky voice. I might want to run the other way.
And I got something to say in the scene when he brings them. But anyways.
Yeah, it's an awful small package. Yeah. I was kind of thinking that when I was watching. I was like,
it was
maybe
awful.
The kid's knees were bent.
Yeah. It was awful small, awful light.
Well, he's a little boy, but...
But yeah, it was very weird. But anyways, so we shoot back again. And
they are dying to know what's in this crate.
Yeah, and I think Ned is the one who's...
He's real keen on opening it.
Yeah, and the other guy doesn't want it.
Yeah, it's like, it's not ours, and, that strike up there.
There's the first glimpse of the little door back there in the background.
Yeah, you do see it back
there. The little underneath ground door where we're going to find out,
cellar.
And it's padlocked, because that's where...
that's where Barlow's coffin's going to be.
Yeah, that's where it's
That's where this is going to go. Slide it right in there.
And all the rest of them, but,
Ned gets himself a crowbar from, upstairs, and he's wanting to open it. Or from the truck, I should say.
And they're hearing stuff upstairs and everything.
Right, they're hearing some...
And you like how Ned gets real scared.
And there's nobody in the house yet.
Yeah.
There's nobody in the house yet, because Straker's going to show up later.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure who that was. But whatever the noise was, it scares them out of the house. They hop back in the truck. And I think it's Mike's like, hey, you forgot the pad... Oh, no, it was Ned. I'm sorry. He was like, hey, we forgot the chains and the padlocks. He's like, just throw them down there. Completely not doing what they were told to do.
No. Yeah.
Because Barlow's just going to bust right out of that crate.
Oh, yeah.
We don't get to see it, but we see, the aftermath of it. The crate completely blown apart. So...
I guess he thaws out. I mean, maybe they had him in cold storage or something.
No, I think maybe that's just an aspect of, I'm going to get into it later as far as the Stephen King universe goes, the types of vampires, but I don't want to do that yet until a particular character shows up.
Yeah, so stick around. Ted's going to talk deep about a little bit of Dark Tower stuff.
Hey, if people are subscribing to this channel, they should be watching the whole show.
They should be.
All right, I know it's long.
Comment, man, down below. Let
us know what you're
thinking.
Long. I know we go long sometimes, but nobody else does this. I mean, so many of your Blu-rays and DVDs come with commentaries, and most of them are dry and they suck. Well, you pop your movie in and you play us.
Amen.
There you go.
Yeah, you get a little bit of fun.
I'd be listening to those commentaries.
Heck yeah, man.
I like the sound of my own voice. Sometimes I just play them.
I do. I think marathon run every night, I think.
Right.
I don't do nothing else. I do eat supper and breakfast and lunch. And then the rest of the day is about, listening to us back.
That's right. That's right. A couple things have happened while we were yammering here.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Did they?
See, that's what I'm talking about. You're absolutely right when you said there's not a lot of room for us to do our usual goofing around in this movie. I mean, because there's always something happening.
I
feel like we do it for 2 minutes and it's like, oh my God, we missed so much. We got to back up.
Yeah.
Cully has, he's in his garage. And he's getting his 12 gauge ready to go. Now you got an idea where he's going.
Because Crockett's coming over. And boom.
Did he come over already? No, I don't think
not yet. No.
And the Glick parents, the mother and father, they're worried their kids should have been home a while ago.
Yep.
They called the Petrie house and they left, half an hour ago. They should have been home already. And the mother hears some rattling outside. She goes up there and one of them, Danny, the older, comes through and just kind of collapses on the ground.
Yeah.
And they're like, where's Ralph? Where's your brother? I don't know. And we're going to find a couple things that's happened in this time. And this is basically, the guys dropped that crate off. They didn't chain up. They didn't lock the doors like they were supposed to.
Right.
And we're going to find that Barlow, the vampire, the master vampire, has burst from that crate. And now he's at large in the community. Presumably, it was Straker that got.
What happened to the
Ralph,
older Glick boy, though?
He was bitten. They don't go into it, but when they take him to the hospital and they're trying to figure out what's going on, I mean, they mention, later on, pernicious anemia. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously some blood loss, and, it would have to be. Yeah,
but was it Barlow was still down in the basement,
Well,
though.
Maybe in the time that's passed, he's broken free, because now Straker's home.
Yeah.
And he's going to open up the bulkhead door. He realizes they're not locked like he wanted them to be. He goes down there and he gets a package out of the trunk.
Right. Well, he sees that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he looks under, sees the locks
sees
just
the
under.
Locks and all that.
Now look, when they show it, they're going to see that the crate that presumably Barlow is in, we know Barlow is in, is completely broken apart, like he just smashed out of it.
Did they just show it?
Not yet. I think when he goes down into the cellar, he gets a parcel out of the trunk.
Yeah, a parcel. It's the younger Glick boy.
A body wrapped in a hefty bag.
Yeah, something like that. Some black tarp or whatever. But man, you could tell though when he brings it out that. Well, I won't say too light because
small.
Yeah, but it
looks smaller than the Glick Boy was.
Looks like a pillow.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm thinking, maybe he just kind of like bent his legs up or something.
I don't know, man, but yeah,
I'm trying to get. Yeah, see, look right here.
Yeah,
the crate is completely obliterated, like he just went and busted out of it.
I wonder why he waited so long though, because even in the truck in the back, when they were taking it to the house, you can see it. They kept saying it's moving forward. It's moving forward.
Yeah, they did.
So, however, that vampire mentally, I guess, was strong enough to shift the whole crate to the front of the truck.
If that indeed happened, because when they opened it, the crate was right where it was supposed to be.
Okay.
So.
And Straker does open, with the duct tape that he's got.
Yeah, just very gingerly opens it up, and there's the child. He's going to be the.
But you see,
he was
right
meant
there,
to be the first offering for the for Barlow.
Because don't we go back into history a little bit here, where it's the children that end up going missing, and I think the children play a big part.
Yeah, there was some talk of missing children way back when in the early history of Salem.
So I'm not sure what. I don't know if the book goes into it more or what, but
I'll have to read it again. And it's supposed to be, from what I understand, like Stephen King's favorite book that he's ever written.
Really?
Yeah, out of all his books. So he's gone on record and said that.
That's when the creativity, right at that beginning, man, really just kicks in. Even though,
and he wrote that when he was hungry. He wasn't a big writer. He was teaching. Kids. Kid on the way. Whatever.
There's Boom Boom.
Oh, Boom Boom and Crockett in bed, not naked, but in bed.
Yep, and Cully Sawyer.
Oh, I love it. He
pops in and
with
says,
that 12 gauge.
Yes.
Now I love it. She immediately throws him under the bus.
Mm-hmm.
He broke in here. He's tried to rape me.
Yes.
And he's just like, is that really? Is that what happened? Is that what happened? And he's
poor
Crockett's
guy.
like, no.
I'm not going to say poor guy because he knows what he's doing.
Right.
He's cheating.
And Cully's like, and she's like, no, don't. He's like, what? Why? Why?
Cully's going, why?
Why you don't want me to? You get up, you rapist. That's what he keeps calling him.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. Cully, you don't want to do something you're going to go to jail for. He's like, I'm not going to go to jail for shooting the guy who raped my wife.
Exactly. Yep.
Look at his eyes, man. He's just, he's...
Oh, he's boozed up and he's just
He's
really...
a junkyard dog.
Yeah.
He's ready to go.
Looks like right out of the deliverance.
But she's keeping to that story, man. Like she's not backing down from that story.
Well, she's scared of him, man.
Yeah, and as soon as she tries to stick up for him for a second, he aims the both barrels at her, and finally
he goes, "You stay right here."
Yeah, I love that. I love it. He's
like,
come with me. We need to talk this over. Yeah. He's telling Larry,
man to man.
We're gonna go talk this over, man to man style. You going out there? And he just tells her, "Don't you move, because I'm coming back." I'm like, oh, yes!
Hey!
Because in most of these movies, it's always the guy who's the dog.
Right. She's the dog.
There's no indication, apart from him drinking some beers, that he's a bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
There's no, book might be a different story.
He could be drinking that booze and bear just because of
he's handling stress.
It could be both ways, though. I mean, he seems like he's got a pretty hot streak, and even when he comes back to her, I mean, he has a right to be as angry as he is. But it's almost like it's nothing new that he's going to beat her or whack her around a bit. But anyways, nevertheless, I like how he walks him out to the thaw and he goes, "Nice red shorts."
I like your shorts. Where'd you get? Oh, it's almost like it's regular conversation. Where'd you get those?
Oh, I got those in the city.
Boston, huh? Now this is cool here because he's going to get in front of him.
Yep.
And he's going to tell him, hold the. Well, he's like, hold the barrel of the gun.
Yeah. With
both hands. And here's where there's some little differences. He's telling me, like, this is a 5-pound trigger, and I got about 3 pounds on it now.
Yeah.
And he tells him to pick up the barrel and hold it in front of his face.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, in the for anybody who has seen the theatrical version, the 112-minute version, they used some different scenes. And in that scene, he tells him to take it and put it in his mouth. He makes him put the barrel of the gun in his mouth.
Okay.
So it is a little bit of a different scene. Probably a little too intense for 1979 television.
Yeah.
But just some little differences that... and I think even the old DVD version of this, which unfortunately, the new Blu-ray that just came out, which looks really nice, and I recommend everybody get it, but it has like no extras on it except a Tobe Hooper commentary, which, I think our commentaries are better, so I wouldn't listen to that. But the old DVD had like the extras on there, like all the extra scenes that were used in the theatrical version, and so I've seen that before. So I know, obviously it exists, but yeah, he's like, put it up to your face. That's okay. You're doing real good. Oh man, there's just Larry. Please don't, please. I'll leave. Man, I'd be, I'll do anything you say. I don't care. And when he does finally pull both triggers, there, pop, nothing.
Yeah, he shoots it, but the gun's not loaded. Yeah, like in Dare Hunter.
Oh god, I think you hear him plop in his pants.
He falls back, runs the heck out of the house, and the minute he does, this is where you get the first glimpse of the vampire's hand.
Barlow's hand.
And
you can tell that was a commercial break right there.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And he comes in. She's still sitting on the bed, and he's like, "Hey, Big Papa Bear," and then you just hear, "No!" And we're gonna see them, I think, one more time, and that'll be about it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
He's beating her.
Cully, I guess he's whatever. It was 1979.
I've never done this in the whole, in I think any show we've ever done over a year and a half, but. You think it's going to be... It's this 3-hour show. You think... I want to run upstairs and get my bag of chips.
Go get your bag of chips.
Should I... Would be all right here?
Yeah, we'll be all right. This is good enough.
I'm going to let Ted talk a little bit and ramble on, and I'm going to go upstairs.
Maybe I'll shoot the moon.
Takes me 10 seconds. Don't do that! No. I'm going to take 10 seconds, and I'm going to run upstairs and get some chips. Because my stomach's grumbling.
Sit home and eat all the flipping chips, kid.
I'll be right back.
All right. So, hey, there you go. He left me. Jesus. All right.
Keep going.
Oh, yeah, I got to keep going with the story here. So, we got Ben and Susan just sitting by the lake. I guess that's their new hot spot. And making out a little bit, talking a little bit, they hear a car kind of pull up pretty close by. And hear another car. Hear two cars. Hear two doors close. And since it's so close, they want to check it out. And they go up there, and it's Crockett's car. He's sitting in his car, still, just in his shorts.
He's sitting in the car in his shorts?
Yeah. Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. You didn't miss much.
Hey, first time I ever did that, man. I'm getting myself
all right.
some
Old
chips.
dark house. I had to excuse myself to go to the bathroom.
We're 3 hours, man. My stomach's already grumbling. I need some chips, and they are basically...
They're chips.
Clancy's White Rounds.
Oh, Clancy's the best, man.
Basically tortilla chips.
Clancy. These are the good Acme store brand. I love like generic chips.
Oh yeah.
So many of them are real good. Except anything that tries to copy Doritos or Cool Ranch Doritos, nothing can beat a Dorito. But you can get like other chips,
right. Like Cheetos and stuff like that.
Like
cheese puffs, tortillas.
Yeah, you don't have
and
to
a lot of
name
times
brand
they taste
for those.
better.
Or different kinds of salt and vinegar. Here we go. So Crockett was in that car.
Scene.
Basically,
sorry if you had me chomping.
Head goes down on the steering wheel, And if you have to die in a car, if you absolutely have to die in a car, you want to be in the driver's side. You want your head to go forward and just the horn to go.
And they cut away from that.
Right.
And you wonder, why don't they put his... well, they might have put his head up, but they didn't show that. But yeah. Oh, here we go.
This is it.
The Glick Boys.
This is the scene. This is probably like the most famous, eerie scene in the film. Danny Glick, who's home. They didn't take him to the hospital or anything yet. He's just had the... and forgive me, he hasn't been bitten yet. It's his brother who's gonna bite him.
Right, which was...
So he wasn't bitten.
Why...
I said he was bitten, and I misspoke. It hasn't happened yet.
I wondered why he collapsed in there to begin with. But anyways...
What? He collapsed, man. He's tired. It was a long run. So this eerie scene out the window of Ralphie scratching on his brother's window.
Stuff nightmares are made of, man.
And he looks so eerie. The face... The makeup, the fangs, you can see him, the eyes, those pale eyes like in the...
Comment on your favorite snack food.
Yeah, tell us what you like.
Down below.
Tell us what you like to eat when you're watching movies.
Yeah.
And maybe throw in what your favorite movie is while you're at it.
Yeah, why not? Any recommendations?
I don't know how Ralphie got in his pajamas, but... one flaw in the movie that I found.
Oh, no,
the kid's
Ted.
in his pajamas.
You know what? And his to match his brother. Yeah, I don't know. That don't make no sense. But yeah, he's scratching at the door, calling his brother. He's calling him, calling.
Because remember, vampires have to be invited in.
Yeah, and he's...
Now watch the scene, because it actually looks a little weird here. They didn't use wires, they used a type of crane. But see how the smoke's all moving out? They
reversed the film
they
to get that effect.
Yeah, just because it looks a little bit more ethereal, a little bit more otherworldly.
Airy. Yeah.
And that's
look at his face.
Yeah, that's so cool.
The kid, oh my God, yeah.
And you know that the bite's coming, so. And it's cool that they didn't use wires. They used one of them weird little cranes to give it that weird motion. Because the thing with wires, most of the time in movies, no matter how much you try to hide it, you're going to notice it a little bit.
You are.
So it's kind of cool. And then that way he was able to come right through the window, and it's all one fluid motion. And that is the scene that most people really remember, and the one that really raises the hairs on the... You ask anybody about this movie, it's always like those parts that really get under their skin.
Can you imagine them talking this over and going, working on the scene and stuff? Mm-hmm. Let's try reversing it and see how it comes. And gold.
And just that being at the window like that, I mean...
Pure gold.
Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Borrowed that. Hell, even Simpsons... There was a Simpsons Treehouse of Horror where I remember Milhouse scratching at the window, whatever. Same thing.
I would have to say, if you put a list out there of, big iconic horror scenes, I mean, that's gotta, or spooky maybe.
Oh, definitely.
This has gotta be up there, man.
It's not a list worth its weight in anything if it's not on there.
Exactly. Amen to that. And I tell you, man, this chick,
Susan's pretty.
She's pretty.
I like her.
Yeah.
So the sheriff, they called the
mom,
sheriff, because of the car, and the sheriff's the constable is questioning Ben and Susan, and Ben's telling them, as much as he knows, he's like, and
this guy plays a cop in a lot of movies.
I heard another car or a truck, and I think someone was in the car with Larry and got out because I heard two doors close. He's like, you heard another door close in the car, and he keeps saying or truck. And basically, the cop just tells him, you're not going to be leaving Salem's Lot anytime soon. He's like, no, I'm not leaving at all. And
she's right there with Susan's right there with them, as
right.
He's got
backup.
Yeah. So, but he's still acting like well, he don't know what's going on. So I mean, it's a normal thing for a police officer to do. Right. But
Ben escorts Susan back home, and her father, Dr. Norton.
Escort.
Well, he's being gentlemanly. He's walking her to the door, making sure.
This is what I'm talking about. He's got this presence about him.
Oh, David Soul's the man.
The whole movie, though, and then
a strength. He's got like a strength, but then when you're faced with ultimate evil, it's broken different, down. Man. That's just
all your fears come true.
It's one thing to think a house is evil, but they don't know what's going on yet.
Yeah.
And the doc leaves, and what does he say that the Glick boy is in the hospital? It's a small town, small hospital.
This is where the whole thing about
the doctor's always on call.
Yeah.
So
and everybody starts coming down with anemia, whatever.
Right. And furthermore, Dr. Norton, you have to forgive me, I can't remember his name.
The actor's name. Don't worry about it.
He was in TV in the 80s, St. Elsewhere.
We know what you're talking about.
If you know your horror movies, he was in Exorcist 3. He played Father Dyer.
Yes, that's right.
Who was played by an actual priest in the original Exorcist. But did you know that? Father Dyer, not like the one who was friends with Damien. Mm-hmm. That was an actual priest. There's so much legit stuff in Exorcist that
Wow.
Yeah, and
that's
I remember the
one movie that
I don't know if we'll ever do.
I almost never want to watch. I've seen it maybe twice in my life, and it's been a long time since.
It's an affecting film.
It's one that gets deep in your psyche.
I remember.
Oh my Lord!
Just even watching about the making of it. How many people died during the making of it? How many freak accidents happened? Things like that. So yeah, maybe one day if we're feeling brave enough. But
next Halloween,
things like that. It's a good film. It's a great film.
I think we're gonna after this Halloween season.
Yeah, we kind of had an idea.
Yeah, we're gonna shoot over to. Ted's gonna pick 3 of his favorite films.
My top 3 favorite films. I'm not gonna blow my load yet and tell you what they are. But
take a little
we did
break.
do a little mini podcast at one time about them.
We did.
And then we'll take a break, do some more horror movies, and then Dino's going to do like his top 3 movies. And
there will be a couple not horror in there.
I can guarantee you my top 3, none of them are horror, but they're like certainly big, good movies.
No, we're going to take a little bit of break and then some more horror, then 3 more that I think...
Man does not live by bread alone. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You gotta have...
want one?
No, I'm good.
Okay, sure?
Oh, I'm positive.
These are great.
Variety is the spice of life.
It's not as good as the stuff.
Right now if you would... that's an empty container over there, but you would offer me. So, we have to catch up here a little bit. So, Glick boy... Danny Glick's in the
ketchup. Oh.
We got a little ketchup here. The doc's asking his parents...
Would you like chili on that?
Jesus. The doc's asking his parents all kinds of questions.
Ted's got something to say here about the scene here.
Man, the movie's going.
Check. Okay, go ahead.
We've missed like 18 scenes. Oh, God. My mouth is so dry all this damn talking. This one's hard.
Isn't it nuts?
It is.
We've done some long movies. Even last couple have been really long movies, and there's been big breaks in between where we're like, what's going... But this movie's 3 hours long, and it's like scene after scene after scene after scene.
That's important. That you need to talk about. They're trying to figure out what's wrong with Danny. They just can't figure out why a healthy boy is this sick.
Did we talk about the fabric on the thing yet or not yet?
Not yet. Okay, but Ralph, the younger, is missing. So they're organizing a search party trying to find him. And Ben Mears is helping with that, as well as many other townsfolk. And he stumbles across a piece of black cloth on a tree. Mm-hmm. And, the sheriff's like, don't touch it. Let me, which he immediately touches it and taints it completely. You're supposed to get that plastic bag, put it in there, and, save the chain of evidence. But he completely touched it.
Yeah, don't touch it, but I'm going to sweat all over it.
Touch it, he got his DNA's powdered jelly finger donuts all over it. And Ben makes the comment, he always wears black suits. And they're like, who? Straker.
Yeah.
And so far in the film, he has always worn gray suits. So the constable immediately goes to the antique shop and, he's starting off, a little bit of good day. How you doing? How's business? What are you guys even opening this shop for? And he's like, this is our retirement. We're hoping to build a name for ourselves in New England.
In the New England area. And you think that can happen? He goes, anything's possible.
And then he says, hey, where's your black suit? What? I love James Mason. I think he's so cool. He's
I take that. I
have 2 black suits, actually.
If you were homosexual, you would really like to make love with him.
Jesus Christ. I like him as an actor. Grew up watching him.
Did I go there?
Hey, and another great movie with it.
What's wrong with that?
Since I love Stanley Kubrick, he's in Lolita.
That's right.
Humbert, lusting after a 12-year-old. Mm-hmm. Well, the actress was much older than that.
Right. No, I remember. Oh, great movie.
Never seen Lolita with James Mason. Not the one with Jeremy Irons, which is good too.
Yes, it was good.
It's actually closer to the book. Mm-hmm. But the Kubrick one, it's got Peter Sellers in it too, so you can't go wrong. And,
very good story. So
cool movie. Good movie. You're surprised it got made when it did in the early 60s.
Right.
But
knowing the content and
the cop basically says, "I'd like to see those suits," and he's like, "Well, I have to have them clean." He's got a little letter opener. I have to have them clean. I'll drop them by tomorrow. and
I was thinking.
Being awful calm about it. He's not even asking why.
Well, and if he says drop him off tomorrow, what if the guy's got like 5 black suits upstairs?
Well, the thing is, he's not.
He's not going to bring the one that's red.
The constable suspects him, but he's not under any.
Right.
He's not charged.
But if he's asking him for the suits, he would know that something's up, and he would not give him the suit, or he would go over the suit. And
go, fine-tooth comb.
Yeah, I ripped something there. That's why the constable wants,
This is small-town policing here, I guess. And if he wanted them bad enough and had a good enough suspicion, he'd get a search warrant, which wouldn't be granted in this case, more than likely.
Right.
But, he says he'll bring them. And I love when he says, ciao. And he's like, what? He's like, oh, that's Italian for,
He goes, oh, you're Italian?
He's like, I thought you were from England. Yeah, I didn't know you were Italian. He's like, I'm not.
It's just a word. The word is. That's what.
I'm not. The word is.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
And the next scene is we're finally catching up.
Yeah.
Ben and Dr. Norton talking, and
you gotta love Ben back, and you gotta love '79 with the blue. Everything was blue jeans.
Yeah, blue jeans.
Even the '80s,
shirts.
the stoners.
Even David Soul had a record, man. He even made a record.
Oh, he had actually a good career as a singer. Yeah, I mean.
The doctor's confiding in him that, we just really don't know. He asks about the Glick boy.
Ooh.
And, we don't really know what's going on. He's like, it might be pernicious anemia. And I love how he says, I'm trusting you to keep that to yourself. Pernicious anemia, it's not like it's a communicable plague or anything.
Right, yeah. Well, maybe because of the police reports and stuff, who knows.
Yeah. But as Susan comes down, they're going to go out for the night, go to a movie. And he does say, Ben, can I talk to you for a second? And this is the father part that you got to love. He's like, everybody knows, you guys were at the lake last night, because of, Larry being found. He's like, you could have been a little bit more discreet.
Right.
And he's like, I like you. I think you respect Susan. I know she respects herself, but, let's...
Well, who doesn't? I mean, who? That's very romantic, going to sitting by the lake and stuff.
That's true. But it's a small town. She had a relationship with somebody else.
No, I get it.
He's just like, you could have been a little more discreet.
I get it.
Yeah.
I got it.
You don't go making out right by the side of the road. Because they literally were like right by the side of the road.
So the older Glick boy's back in the hospital. He's got his
blood transfusion.
Raspberry juice up in the...
we're going to
get the,
I was going to say, I commend them for
bottle.
Also having a bottle of saline up as well.
Right.
Because when you give a blood transfusion, you also have a bag of saline as well.
Right.
For the flush after. Mm-hmm. So that's nice. But then... who do we see? The mist, the fog is all looming around the glass window again.
And it comes to the window again.
Look at that. You just see him floating right out of the mist. I love it. It
is such an awesome scene, such an airy scene.
Chills.
Oh, my God.
I mean...
And his face.
Mm-hmm.
And how they... this part of the...
Yeah, when any part with him is reversed.
Well, and when he gets bit, his brother here. Mm-hmm. That scene... When he goes down and just takes... Oh, I can't think of anything better, Ted.
Yeah.
Look at this so closely, guys, when this happens. It just...
like, mesmerizes Danny to get up.
Because even the...
I have patients like this all the time. Get out of bed. What? I'm hooked up to an IV. Bam!
And drops down in the bag.
That's the thinnest, wateriest looking blood I ever saw in a movie in my life. Oh, and if you're a nurse, look, the clamp is closed, so he wasn't even getting any of that fluid.
My God.
There's no red blood in the tubing, so he's not even getting any of that
Ted's
juice.
on our end, so he's going to let us know what's going on.
Look at that. The clamp, but how many times you have...
Look at this
there
bag.
It is when he comes in. And it's so cool that it's
through
not
the
wires.
window,
It's
and the
so
mist
cool.
is going backwards.
Yes, that is so great.
This is right here. Yeah. Cut to this scene.
Look on his face.
He's looking at his brother. He's looking at his brother.
Feet on his brother.
He raises up just a few inches, and he comes down. And his neck. Oh, the bite and stops.
Yeah.
Oh, Ted, cool, that's probably my favorite scene of the whole movie.
You know what I got to mention this way? This movie actually has really good music, really good and effective music. Mm-hmm. They finally put the whole soundtrack out last year. I mean, I just love the music. I might even pick it up at some point just because it's got really cool...
I was going to say, I
love soundtrack music.
Early spring day, you sit there, and I think you do your walks to the soundtrack.
Yeah, when you're fertilizing the grass or something like that.
I listen to The Exorcist.
Tubular Bells again.
And The Entity.
Oh, God. There's some sounds I never need to hear again.
Your best horror theme songs all in a row. I've got like 20 hours of it.
I guess so.
Makes you a little crazy after a while. But...
Yeah, probably. What do we got? It's the morning. James Mason hops in his car. He's ready to drop his suits off. Pretty blonde nurse is going to go into the Glick boy's room.
Oh!
And he's laying on the bed. He dead. He dead.
He dead and all spread.
Yeah, it's like his arms are entangled in the bed rails, and I don't know. She drops the tray and screams.
Oh, I'm trying to think of this movie I saw on. Totally off topic, but Turner Classic's been showing some of the blaxploitation films.
Yeah, Superfly. I watched Superfly the other day.
But there was another cheesier name of a guy like Superfly, but his name was Bolimo or something like that.
No.
And, oh my God, Ted. And the Queen Bee came to get him out of jail.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I might be hooked on some blaxploitation films.
God, I mean, some of them are fantastic.
Ted, they are...
Shaft, Superfly, Across 110th
so
Street.
Good, man. I'm like, what is...
Superfly TNT.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some great
But his
movies.
girls came and got him, man. And
Coffee.
He's right
Foxy Brown.
He's right outside the prison doors, and he's taunting the police officers. He's taking off. He said, "I don't know what they gave me to wear." This guy, and it was a beautiful suit.
Well, you have one of those Roku devices, don't you? There's all kinds of like blaxploitation grindhouse free channels on there.
Really?
You
okay.
probably find some more on there.
Well, I'm going to look.
You know how there's like 8,000 channels on there.
Right.
My mom just got one, and I programmed all her channels.
Okay.
So I went through the whole list this morning. So I've seen everything they got.
You got to do it on. There's a store, isn't there?
Yeah, search.
I don't have to go to the
by
computer.
Channel.
Okay.
No. Do it right on the device. But there's tons of grindhouse drive-in.
But he's taking it off, and he's going, man, these girls put that. And they start putting on, the pimp outfits.
Get that coat.
And it doesn't look the other one looks better, but this is pimped out. And I'm like cracking up laughing. Yeah.
They're cool movies. Man, a product of the times.
Yes.
So that was like the biggest break we're going to get in this movie. Just BS.
Pretty much.
So Straker has arrived at his antique shop, goes across the street to the
Sorry, guys,
police
I'm eating
station.
so much of this during, but
and brings his suits.
Chill.
Like, here are all the suits. How long do you think you'll be keeping them? And he's like, a couple days. No more, please. And he even says at the end, I'd like them back in the same condition and cleaned.
Right. He's giving him,
And he even says, I don't have to do this. I'm trying to do my best James Mason impersonation. And he's absolutely right.
Not bad.
Suspicion should be taken off him immediately. Mm-hmm. He's like, I don't have to do this. And he's like, I don't even know why. And he's under suspicion for something. And he's like, well, yeah, you are. And he's like, the missing boy.
Yeah,
he's like, because I'm a stranger and a little odd.
And a little odd, he says. Yeah, he says, I'm a little odd, yeah.
And, whatever. And
Black Stove Pipe.
He's like, just make sure they come back nice. They'll... What is it? Look at the band. He's got, like, the YMCA outfit right there. For Saturday night. and Chow,
which he never wears.
Says Chow again and leaves. And he whips out that piece of cloth and he's going to like look at his suits himself.
Which tells me immediately, I'm like, that's what got me. I'm like going, you think he's really going to bring the suit with the rip in it? He's going to go
there
over
you go.
it.
I know. Well, again, he doesn't have to do it. He's just... Straker was nice enough to do it. And,
it was just
we know it's from Barlow. Oh, here we go. Cully.
This is last appearance of Cully and
Cully
Susan.
and Boom Boom.
Yeah.
He's
taking her out of this
busted
town.
Black eye, man. He gave her what for, I guess.
Yeah. He
didn't like he messed her up too much, though. But but they're moving.
Oh, yeah.
We're just out of here, man. We're going
he's taking her out of town. He says, you're not doing it. Like this ain't going to happen in the next town he's in. But whatever.
It for sure as hell ain't going to happen here again.
No.
Let's put it that way.
And I don't know why Straker was looking at them so intently. But
leaving
well,
town.
You know what? Crocker did get it when he left that house.
And see, now we know that piece of cloth was from Barlow, obviously. Well, we don't know it, obviously. We haven't actually seen him yet. But
my microphone's so good. It's probably picking up on my chips.
I'm so
crunched.
sorry, guys.
I'm sorry if it is, but I have to eat.
Yep.
I'm famished. I went all day without eating nothing.
The non-fat guy's got to eat the bag of chips. I like this old 50s diner they go into. Yeah. I wish we had one of these around here.
What's closest we got like that around here? Well, we got the Be a Sweetie Candy Company soda shop area.
You know what? I almost feel like, even though it caught fire and burned down the old Steve's hot dogs, because they had the old jukeboxes on the, where you put the nickel in or whatever and play the songs, and they still had that. So
we have
the bar stools.
We have the Steak and Shake restaurants around here, which
but that's
no, I mean it's modernized, retro, but. It still gives a little vibe, but I know you want.
It's got the vibe, yeah.
You want the old black and white tiles, the old stuff, and no.
But the thing of it is, I don't want a new place to open up and be like that. I want it, I want the old place. Like,
no, I hear you.
I want it to be playing, like Buddy Holly music and stuff like that, and
old cash register,
right? And everybody's daddy-o when you walk in or something like that. I don't know. You
want to go back in time.
I always kind of get obsessed with that time period there. I mean, how cool!
I hear you.
60s looming coming in and all the cool stuff and horrible stuff that came with that time, but like the 50s were like relatively safe and wholesome on the surface, but underneath all the lewd and lascivious things and rock and roll creeping in, and just the monster movies and all that.
So that was you would pick 50s, huh?
Oh God, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, like anytime from like the 20s on through the 80s. I mean, there's something I love about each decade.
Right, that's true.
I don't know if I could just pick like a straight decade.
Just say, hey, you can go back one decade. Which one would you go to?
The 20s. I love. The films. The early films and the music.
I would go more towards 40s because. See, I love the 20s too. I mean, that may be my first choice, but yet, again, they were just on the verge of medications and stuff like that.
Not so much in the 30s. Like I said, nothing much great.
I'd say the 40s for me.
Except for, some films.
Yeah.
40s had some cool stuff. 50s and 60s, but, like the 60s, I don't know what I would have been in the 60s. I don't think I would have been a hippie.
Yeah.
I love the music.
A lot going on.
But I gotta, like, shower every day. So okay, we have to talk about this scene here because it introduces the character that I'm going to want to talk about later on. Father Callahan. Mm-hmm. This is the Glick boys.
Father Callahan.
This is Danny Glick's funeral.
Father Ted.
Father Callahan's giving the eulogy, the sermon over the casket, and the mother passes out. Oh, no. We're going to find out what's going on with her later on, though. Oh. She's weak.
Oh.
Mother's getting weaker. If anybody knows their King Diamond.
Bloodletting.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's kind of what they're doing. But, it's Father Callahan who's giving
Harmony Hill Cemetery.
And if you guys are Stephen King fans, or especially Dark Tower junkies like myself, you will know that Father Callahan plays a huge role in Stephen King's Dark Tower series, especially starting in Wolves of the Calla. Which, when we get to more Father Callahan a little bit, I'll talk about that. So,
almost done with your water. What are you going to do?
I know, I'm screwed. There's still like an hour and a half to go.
I got a couple bottles of water.
So what? Mike here, the guy that works in the graveyard, he's going to bury the Glick boy.
Yes.
But notice that there's a haze over the sky. Dark clouds are coming in, and he's got the smallest shovel in the world, and he's not even like really hustling at all.
Well, back in the
like I'm just going to take 4 hours to do this.
It's like when did they come to the realization that we should have like maybe a little tractor that pushes all this dirt?
Yeah, I mean, instead of some old guy busting his back.
I would have thought this a long time ago.
And you got to mention, he's another guy that you've seen in 8 million TV shows too.
A lot of these people.
I recently saw him on an episode of Mama's Family. Yeah. Lloyd Braun.
Yeah.
One of Vinton's friends there. So.
Lloyd Braun.
I think that was his name in the show. Lloyd Braun.
Oh, Seinfeld. Lloyd Braun.
No, that was not Lloyd. That was because that episode was just on. Is it Lloyd Braun?
Yeah, Lloyd Braun, the one that George Costanza.
Damn it! Who am I thinking? I'm mixing them up. Yeah, you're right. Look.
Because I'm like that. No, unless they had the same character on two different shows.
No. The one in Mama's Family is a different name.
Okay.
But it's something similar to that.
Okay.
There you go. There's a quick shot of Ben and Jason, his old teacher. They're driving away together, just having a brief conversation from the funeral. And the wind is starting to pick up.
Yeah, hurricane hits
flowers.
again.
Yeah, really.
Hurricane Glick.
Hurricane Glick is coming in, blowing, and he's just. You don't hear
calling.
Yeah, you don't hear any kind of knocking on the coffin or anything like that. But he's looking down at the.
Bless you, my son.
Oh, someone's not going to like that. I know. My wife's family, they're all Catholic. Every time one of them kids eats a cracker, I got to cough up $50.
I just blessed myself.
I know. They eat a cracker for the first time, I got to give them $50. I don't know why. I ask them, why do you do it? And they don't know why. So can you explain transubstantiation to me? No.
Well, isn't it the... like the... No, there's a purpose behind it. What is that for?
I know the purpose of communion, but I always make it a point to ask them.
Okay.
Do you know why you just ate that cracker and I'm giving you $50?
And they don't know.
No, they don't. Hell, they don't know. Oh, spider barking.
Oh, holy Moses! We's all over the place.
We's all over the place.
Holy Moses. Good thing I'm not smelling nothing.
This is a good cushion you got for me here.
Wow. It soaks it all in and keeps it
If you ever pick it up and want to whack the dust out of it. Yeah, the cat don't even sit on it no more.
I have seen the cat walk over to it and stop and go, and move over.
Fluffering.
Oh, God, okay.
So Mike, he's kind of mesmerized by the coffin. Something's drawing him to it. He jumps down into the grave, onto the casket, wipes the dirt away, and opens up the lid. Lo and behold, there's the Glick boy, vamped out. Yeah. He's dressed nice, though. But
glowing eyes.
Those glowing eyes, man, nice. They get you.
I wouldn't put my son in a nice pink casket, though.
Yeah. Well,
but that was the 70s,
I guess.
But look at him. He gets on. He looks at him, and he does a little bite like that, too. Yep. I love how... Yeah, it's the old TV series.
And actually, I think this is about the hour and a half mark in the movie. Mm-hmm. So this is like where episode 1 would have ended. Yeah. And now we've got, episode... I think...
And they shoot right to Salem's Lot again. Yeah, I think... Yeah, it's right. It's exactly halfway.
Near about here. Mm-hmm. This is probably where the episode would happen the next following Sunday. So you had to wait a week to find out what would happen.
It was very intriguing.
But there was always miniseries on. You had Roots, you had Centennial, Thornbirds.
Water cooler talk,
Well, these were big. I mean...
me and you, we stood by the water fountain.
It's always the water. What? I can't even remember.
Did you see how they ended with that Glick boy biting him on the neck?
That's what it was.
Remember?
Remember?
And you said, are we playing D&D tonight?
Yeah.
I said,
I'd always be sitting there by myself.
I said, if Miles lets me out, because I call my mom's mom.
Play over the phone, man.
Play over the phone.
I did that. Man, play over the phone.
How did you eat today?
Me? Why? Because my rumbly and the tumbly?
Yeah.
What did I eat?
Yeah. You just came from Target. Did you eat some pizza or something there?
No, I had a little small portion of ribs.
Ribs.
Everybody say ribs.
Say ribs.
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 Golden in the hogs and the ribs. Gonna cut them in them up, then pull them out, and then
we get back to Mark here.
What?
They're showing all of Mark's paraffin wax and stuff. So
what is going on?
I like how he's got his little work table here, man. Look, that's the mummy right there.
Yep, Dracula. Wolfman.
Yep.
He's got them all,
man. He's got them all.
Well, I told you he's even got his little nook built into the wall, kind of like a little. Just really cool, man. I mean, it's awesome what he's got.
Ma and Dad so he's working on a model. Ma and Dad are downstairs. I think they're just a little concerned because he hasn't shown much emotion regarding, the disappearance of Ralph and the death of Danny.
Yeah.
And his dad's he just keeps his emotions inside. When New England does, that's what we do.
What do they want him to do?
I don't know, but
cry.
And his mom's like, I don't want him going in those woods anymore.
Even though they probably walked those woods a million times.
Probably.
And she goes, can you go up there and give him a talk?
Give him a
good talking to.
All right. Or don't be too hard on the beaver.
He's trying to get like a little closer to his son, kind of,
He's like,
he's like, hey, these
picks
handcuffs.
Up these handcuffs. He's like, can you really get out of these? He's sure, put them on.
Very matter-of-factly.
And he's like, where's the key? Don't need them. And you know how they work. There's a little clip on the side, and that's how you can get out of them. I've got it set myself.
Because when he does it... Yeah?
Yeah, the wife likes the quick-release ones.
I've got the real metal chains where it's got the bolts. It takes about an hour to unscrew it.
Well, yeah, you've got you know how some people have like a little thing with like canes in it and umbrellas? You got one with like branding irons in it.
If you come to visit, you will be branded.
Yeah, like Everyone lives on the Cartwright Ranch. Cartwright?
Cartwright?
Oh, there's another thing on the Roku. There was the Bonanza channel. All Bonanza.
No.
I was like...
Holy moly.
I mean, I like Bonanza, but it's like, I don't like Bonanza that much.
No. Yeah, somebody's going to be sitting there watching Bonanza.
There was even like Groucho You Bet Your Life channel. All Groucho. Groucho Marx. I loaded that one on there into my Gordon Miles.
You're going to have to revisit the channels and see what's on there.
Stuff on there, dude. All kinds of stuff.
Holy Moses. Smell the roses.
Oh, we also have to make mention that previously, we forgot to mention that...
previously on Salem's Lot.
The sheriff, the constable, called his FBI guys, whoever they call that is going to look up backgrounds on people, background check. He wanted background checks on Ben Mears, Richard Straker, and he asked what Barlow's first name was. It was Kurt, with a K.
Colonel Riker?
Colonel Riker.
So this plays into the Star Trek series.
Not that Next Generation nonsense.
Oh, God, come on.
Picard. Hell's bells.
Get to the ship.
Whoever thought that would be a good captain?
I liked it.
I'll tell you what.
I like the Next Generation.
When it comes down to a fist fight between Kirk and Picard.
Oh, well, I know that.
Okay, let's put it this way. Picard's a good captain. Kirk's a good hero.
Exactly. There's no mistake in that. I agree 100%. I'm original all the way.
Oh, gee.
But I like the Next Generation.
Oh, there's some fantastic episodes. We got and First Contact's a hell of a movie, so yeah, for sure. But the constable is specifically interested in how these guys. He just knows there's got to be a connection between these guys. You know.
And do you like how they both eat their sandwich and the constable picks up his cup of black paint and drinks it?
Yeah.
And he goes.
Well, yeah, he comes in.
Oh wait, that was the Three Stooges. Yes. Just about every episode. Oh man!
So the constable's coming into the office, and his deputy's on the phone with his FBI guys, and basically it's all determined that everybody's clean, nobody's connected, and the constable's still convinced that they're connected. Mm-hmm. But as of right now, they're all clean. There's no connection. Jason.
That's a shame too, because they love each other. But the movie.
Yeah, Ben and Jason. It looks like they're at some Italian restaurant here because it's got the red and white checkerboard tablecloth.
And who comes rumbling in?
Mike,
and you know who he looks like?
Who does he look like?
From Day of the Dead.
You mean Dawn of the Dead?
Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead. Who's he look like from Day of the Dead?
Oh,
Bub.
Yeah, Bub. The one they hooked up to zombie.
Bub.
Doesn't he look like
he was
him in
from
the
Seinfeld.
face?
You remember? He was in an episode of Seinfeld, right?
Bub?
Yeah. He was the Junior Mint guy, I believe. The guy that got the Junior Mint stuck in him. I'm almost positive that's the same actor.
Really? Okay, a little heavier and bigger.
Let's look him up. We gotta look him up.
Okay, we'll have to.
I think that's the guy.
Okay.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Someone out there, tell me if I'm wrong. Why do I think that? I don't know.
Okay, yeah, interesting fact you bring up.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the movie at hand.
Yeah, but that's the Triangles episode where George Costanza bought all the triangle paintings from.
That's where Kramer gets the Junior Mint stuck in the guy who's having surgery and it heals him.
Yeah. He goes, I'm feeling great. He's eating his spaghetti. He's putting on all the weight again.
Yep.
And Elaine goes, oh, Jerry.
He's going to gain that weight.
But yeah.
So, at the restaurant, Mike just kind of stumbles in there and crashes at their table. And he's just saying, I fell asleep out there on the cemetery and... I had dreams. He's just talking nonsense, really.
And I was burying the Glick boy, and then...
They get him a shot of whiskey, and he's sick, man. He just looks like he's just, I don't feel well. So Jason's just like, he must live out by the cemetery. He's like, Mike, you stay with me tonight. Right. Oh, and he's even making the motions. He was knocking, and I opened it, let him in. Yeah. Even though that's not exactly what he did. Mm-hmm. But maybe that's what he heard. Maybe he just heard the Glick boy knocking. Even though we don't hear it, maybe that's what he kind of felt. Yeah. So Jason says, I want you to stay with me tonight. We'll go see the doctor tomorrow. Look at this nice small town. Everyone's caring about each other, helping each other out.
I've often dreamt of being in a small town. I
was born in a small town. I can breathe in a small town.
I can live in a small town. That's good enough for me.
Whatever, yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
I'm good with one-liners. Yeah.
So what do we got here? Oh, this is a great scene right here. Very important scene. No, I'm good, man. Yeah. The Glick.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this is Danny now. Because, Danny's on the loose.
The older Glick boy.
I don't think we see Ralph anymore.
No, he's back eating berries.
Whatever, But now, in this case, Danny is still in his funeral suit. Thank you. Done correctly this time. Yeah. And he goes to his buddy Mark's house. Mark Petrie here. And, the same thing.
Father known for the Petri dishes.
The Petri dish. But doing the same thing, Hey, Mark. Come on, man. Let me in. Let me in. And you see Mark here. He knows what's going on.
Yeah, Mark gets up and
he's going to walk straight over to the window and just lock it.
Well, no.
I don't think he was going to open it.
He almost opens up.
I thought he locked it. I thought he went there and just...
Okay, well, yeah.
Or, maybe. I mean, you could almost say that these guys have the ability to sort of put you on kind of get you under a spell for a moment that might make you...
But he had the power. See, it's already totally locked.
But he looks like he's upset, like he realizes what he is.
Yeah.
And he
and he's fighting it because, don't look him in the eyes.
He almost looks like he's about to cry.
He's starting to open it, and he starts to close it.
You're right. Then he closes it and locks it. And
he turns away.
No, the master commands it.
Yeah.
And he sees
he's going to go back and not...
on his little model kit, and he takes it and shuns Danny away with it. Leave, don't come back.
That's awesome, though. He takes it off of his little monster kit.
Plastic cross.
Model kit.
And the thing of it is, it's not like you have to be religious for the cross to work.
Right.
But you have to believe in the power of it to rid yourself of the evil. And that's where the priest, that's what's going to happen with the priest.
The power of Christ compels you.
Father Callahan.
The power of Christ compels you.
That's the power of Christ. The bed is on my foot.
So why are you holding a cross? Why are you holding a cross?
What?
If the power of Christ compels you.
Because it's the symbol, man. I don't know. Don't ask me, man. I ain't a priest.
Well, even in this, why do they need the cross? Why can't they just hold their hand up like they got a cross if they believe?
Well, because it's the object itself.
That's true.
Whether you believe in it, you just have to believe in the power of it to protect yourself from them.
Thank you.
You don't have to be.
I was trying to tell this to a group of kids, and they would not believe me. They said, "Who are you?"
Don't you believe this kid goes right back to bed?
He's got some tears in his eyes.
Well, he
may be still kind of under a little bit of a spell, like kind of in and out of delirium a bit.
I don't know. I don't think so. He's crying. He's upset. He's still got that cross. And isn't Dad going to pop in the room here?
This was just seconds? Like James at 16, where he wet the bed.
Oh, Jesus.
And
I don't believe it. Not at 16.
Ted, you think I'm joking?
No, I know.
I remember that movie because I was...
Was it like an after-school special?
Yeah.
I just remember...
Because I was big into running, and I was a track and field kid.
I just felt like running. Dad pops in. How come he didn't pop in about 2 minutes ago? You'd got the surprise of your life, Pop.
Son, are you okay?
Yeah, he heard him, get out! Because he kind of raised his voice during that part. And, it's, are you awake? He's sort of.
Yeah.
I think he's just playing it off like a dream, but...
It's a nightmare.
He knows what's going down now, man. There's vampires
in town. Down.
But, Salem's Lot is a bit of an isolated town.
It is.
And, I think perfect for the vampire.
Yeah, nothing within 50 square miles.
You can turn this whole place into a town of vampires.
Yeah.
Move your way across country.
From dusk till dawn. That's the prequel.
Oh. Okay. Oh, look, there's Mike. He's got the marks on his neck.
Yeah, they shoot back to the scene of Mark at, what's his name's house?
Jason's house.
Yeah. The
next morning.
The music teacher, whatever.
English teacher. And, he's going to come in there. I washed your clothes for you. Here's some pajamas for you, whatever. And, hey, what's on your neck?
Yeah, he goes, what was the word? Those 2 marks on your neck there?
Yeah. Oh, it's nothing. And they always like, it's nothing.
Yeah, it's just... These big old sores I got here got nothing to do with anything.
Herpes spread to my neck.
Oh, God. I like to eat chips with my mouth open.
Boy, you got these nachos. You got no... Oh, look, and the window was even open. Who knows? He could have just got bit right now.
Yeah, again.
You know? You got no salsa.
I know.
Salsa.
Another Seinfeld.
No nacho cheese.
What's a bigger word? Is it salsa? Salsa.
I don't think they have salsa on the table.
Yeah, they got ketchup, mustard. Why not salsa? Half the world eats salsa. What do you mean? Other countries...
Half the world eats salsa. Oh, excuse me.
I do got sauce upstairs. Why I didn't bring it down is beside me.
Sour cream, whipped cream.
Next time I'll have a layout.
Kraft singles. Rip off little pieces and put them on there. That's what I used to like to do with Ritz crackers, man, with the Kraft singles, man.
Or the Cheese Whiz.
Not so much, but...
that bottle will kill you with like 60% sodium.
Yeah, man, if you want to die, man. Whew. But I never liked it because it just said like cheese product.
It's like, what does that mean?
It's not quite cheese. It's not quite. I don't know.
It's a cheese product,
I guess. So what's going down over here?
Well, he's going to have a heart attack.
So
the music, they're still at Mark and the teacher's house.
Yeah, or just the teacher, Jason's house.
Jason's the teacher, right?
Yeah, Mark's not here.
I thought Mark was staying there with him, no?
That's Mike.
Mike.
Yeah, Mike's there.
Oh, I know.
So what's he doing? Is he having some kind of dream here? What's going down here? He's
having a dream of Boom Boom.
Because he's sitting there going like that. He's like he's banging his fists. I don't know.
He's dreaming that the money did not go through.
The money didn't go through.
He's going, dang it.
Oh God.
And
so what's going down over here? Oh, you know what? He's so yeah, he's waking up from disturbed sleep, obviously, Jason. Yeah. He must call the boarding house, and the lady, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, he gets to the phone and calls, and the landlady, who I refer to.
She goes to wake Ben up because he's calling for Ben.
Yeah.
And
she says, it's 4 a.m. I don't know what he's calling about. It's very unusual and very odd.
Basically tells him...
There's smells going on around here that I can't smell.
Well, doesn't he basically tell him there's a dead man in the bedroom?
Did you just hear me?
Yeah.
I got smells going around that I can't smell. What? Dope! So what's everybody's favorite snack out there?
Yeah.
Chocolate? Chips? Peanuts? Let me know, man. Or food.
I don't know.
Let us know in the comments. Do you like Italian? Chinese? Hindu?
Chinese.
Is there Hindu
they
food?
They only come up to your knees. Yeah, it's called Indian food.
What?
Yeah, it's called Indian food. What kind of Indian you doing? American Indian?
No, I'm not doing Indian whatsoever, no.
Oh, good.
You get yourself fish on bread.
Fish on
bread? You want olive oil with this? No. Kapachina. You get, olive oil on there, no. Toast is plain with cheese. Toast is plain with cheese.
Toast is plain with cheese.
Oh, then you take that down with beer. Mexican booze. Oh.
Cerveza.
Cerveza. I remember that from Sanford and Son.
Ah, yeah. Oh, that's more shows on the Roku too, man. I didn't even know
Sanford and Son channel?
No, not so much a channel, but I didn't know that Grady had his own show.
Oh yeah,
he had like a season show, and then they tried to bring it back.
Well, it wasn't.
But it was just called Sanford. They tried to.
Yeah. One season.
I hardly remembered it.
Yeah.
And it was on there.
Believe it or not, I have it.
Oh, you do? You
on
do?
CD.
Okay. Oh God. Stunning 1080p quality.
But the fact that
like big rectangle sized pixels every time someone moves.
So it was they weren't that great.
That magic worked with Sanford. Well, you know what? You had Richard Pryor and Paul Mooney writing on that show for a lot of the good episodes, and you couldn't beat that.
No, Sanford was good.
They were pretty. So Jason calls Ben. It's like, Mike's dead. Mike's dead. He dead.
He did.
He goes up there. Yeah, he shakes him and
bakes him.
Doesn't feel any pulse.
Him. That's what the vampire did. He shakes him, bakes him, and
look at these marks on his neck.
Shakes him, bakes him, and eats him.
Well, check this out. Oh wait, are the marks on the other side of the neck now?
The marks are gone.
Or no, they're on the other side. Of the
no,
neck.
They're gone.
Were they gone?
Remember, he said they're gone
because he died. They disappear when you're dead.
Well, and the vampire, all they need is a little bit of their blood to heal the wound.
I guess.
So maybe they did that. I don't know. Unless when they do totally convert,
well,
they turn into, or the things go missing, the bite marks.
I guess. I don't know if they're...
Let's dig deep into this vampire
I don't
lore.
know. You know, every
don't you
show,
got stuff to talk about, the book?
Vampire thing. I mean, I don't know if they got to suck their blood and they got to suck, their victim's blood and, all this sucking. Oh, there's a chip.
One fell.
Yeah, well, the mice will get it.
There's no mice in here.
Oh.
There's mice and men.
Look at all these holes in the chair. Something's eating these holes in here.
Cats.
It's not just me picking at it
Cats
all the
and
time,
claws.
Cats and claws?
Cats and claws.
It's like the Cats and Jammer kids. Cats and claws.
It's feline Santa Claus.
Feline
Cats and claws.
Santa Claus.
Hey, kittens. Guess who's coming? Cats and claws for Christmas time.
Cats and claws.
He bring presents and cheese and mouse traps that
He's
don't
coming to the
even
mall.
eat.
Cats and claws is coming to the mall soon, kiddies. So I think they're sitting. Jason and Ben are sitting at the table here. I think this is like where the first kind of idea of vampire comes up.
Yeah,
because of the the marks on the neck and and all these people having anemia. It's all coming together now.
Yeah, I think they're realizing that, hey, something more is going on here.
They call the Bambalance to come and take Mike's body away. And sure, there's the constable. There's Ben. Like, oh yeah, he's here again.
Hey, shout out to Death Twitch again, man. He's back doing more videos again, and he did Psycho and Psycho 2. And
Psycho 2. Have you ever watched Psycho 2?
Yeah,
it's actually not a bad movie. Psycho 3 is not as good, but Psycho 2's...
He liked 2 least of the series.
I didn't think it was
not
a bad
that he
movie.
hated it. He said it was a good movie. But his editing...
It seems unnecessary after the first one. He should have just left it alone.
Right.
But I mean, the guy who wrote the Psycho books, he wrote other Psycho books.
Right. But he did a great job at editing the review he did and stuff.
Cool.
I'm really enjoying the way he's actually... But he goes overboard. Eric, if you're watching, man, don't watch the movie 10 times. You're going to kill yourself, man. Don't do it.
Man, it's bad enough like
when I
watch the movie the day of the show.
And
then I come here and I gotta watch it again. This is a friggin' 3-hour movie. That's what I was telling him. I was like, I gotta watch it again.
Well, we're talking about it, so I mean, it kind of goes over what we're we're 3/4 of the way over.
Guess, yeah.
And I'm eating chips, and they're salty, and they taste good.
I guess. Hey, we're at the 2-hour marker or so, getting close here. So what happens? Ben, he gets back to the boarding house. She's ironing. Does she do laundry for everybody too?
Who knows? All I know.
I see all these shirts hanging up on the kitchen counter there.
Yeah,
she's like, I'm gonna have some coffee and go to bed. I'm gonna load up on caffeine.
Yeah, at bedtime. Who comes in and gets a really dark cup of coffee?
Well, it was daytime it was morning already when he got over to Jason's. I think he's just tired because he got woken up. Oh, and we have to remember that. Did this happen already? Did he ask him for the crucifix already? Yes. When he's on the phone, when she woke him up in the middle of the night and he's on the phone with Jason, he asks the landlady, do you have a crucifix?
Right, before he went over there.
And she's like, yeah, I've got one on my nightstand. You want it? And when he comes back, she asks, why did he want the crucifix? He's like, oh, maybe he thought Mike was Catholic. And she's like, he should know better than that.
Right.
Mike was one of his students. He knows they're all Lutheran.
Yeah.
So, there it is. The grand opening of Barlow and Straker Antiques.
Through all of this, he does his big old grand opening.
Yes, he does.
Yep.
And he's got some...
Really?
It seems like mostly it's like taxidermy type animals in there.
Yeah, I mean, he's got expensive
Do you remember
furniture.
The place that used to be
over
here in the neighborhood on State Road, the taxidermist place? Like in the late 70s, early 80s. Do you remember it? Small building?
I think so. It was so long ago.
My dad bought so many things from there. We had a fox, we had a bear rug, birds. But one of the coolest things I had, and I think he still has it. I'd love to have it up here, put on a show. Where there was a squirrel sitting on a tree stump with his legs crossed, smoking a pipe.
Did he ever have it out at the house?
He probably did. You might have saw it.
Because I remember seeing it.
Yeah, you might have. I wonder if I'm sure he probably still has it.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's just that's a business you don't see anymore,
you need to bring in some props.
I know.
You got something cool, bring it in.
Taxidermy. That's something, that's an art that's just disappeared, I think. Well, I know it's still around, but...
Right.
You know, it's just kind of funny that here in this town outside of Cleveland, there was a taxidermy place. You know, if you had an animal that you shot and wanted to get it stuffed, you brought it there, and it's gone now. Even the building's gone. You know, like they tore it all down.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember exactly where, but I know what you're talking about.
Yep, it was right close to where my folks used to live. It was just right there. I remember going into the store.
What were you going to say about with the vampires and the difference between this?
Well, as Father Callahan becomes a character in this show,
I know you said there was like 3 different
levels
in the story.
What's going on now is the grand opening. Ben comes in there.
Yeah.
They have a brief
If there's any law, there's a little bit of law here.
Yeah. Father Callahan's going to make another appearance here pretty soon, and if you're a Dark Tower fan, what happens in the film is when we get to it, you know, something's going to happen to Father Callahan. But
poor guy.
I don't know. I think I should save it for them.
Okay, if you want to. No,
yeah, you know, it makes more sense if I talk about it when Father Callahan's
I didn't want you to.
So I don't want to spoil.
To
what's
forget
gonna
about
happen.
it.
Oh,
but...
I won't.
Oh, okay.
I won't because
it's interesting.
I love Dark Tower, and I don't know. I always get the feeling that most Stephen King fans don't read the Dark Tower series. I mean, even when he published it, he only published it in very small runs, like sometimes like 10,000 copies of each book. Like at least the first 2 or 3 books.
That was back in the day when they would print them up and they would run them to the bookstores as fast as they could.
Well, only specialty.
So they were short runs within the Maine area.
Well, the thing of it is, when like the Gunslinger came out, it was a very small run of a book. I know you were trying to pull a little joke there.
It was a dumb one, but I'm known to do dumb jokes.
Only like specialty like sci-fi shops, gaming shops, comic book shops carried it, and like people that read Stephen King books were like, he's got a book out there that like no one can get their hands on, nobody's read, and he mostly figured that it's only like those kind of geeks and nerds that would get into that kind of story, and for the most part he's probably right, but
people would come up, Ted Netters comes up and beats the heck out of...
Ben gets home and... Did you see how he's just like hiding behind one of those like changing things? You know, you could set it up and change behind it. Yeah. And he just like, BAM! Smashes it aside and gives him like 2 good punches in the head. And
they cut away and next thing... Ben's in the hospital with concussion.
Mild concussion. Yeah, look at Miss Dr. Norton walks in there, Susan, because this is all because of his daughter. Yeah. And he's just like, yeah, got your ass whooped. He's like, you're all right. Just a little mild concussion. We're just going to watch you for the night and go home. But he does, make mention that, if it's any consolation, Ned Tibbetts is in jail right now. Yeah. So
sleeping
it off.
Won't be there for too much longer.
But anyways, all things considered, and Ben's not even that mad about it. I think as men, you realize you were kind of messing around with another dude's girl, and even though she made that she's a grown woman, if she wants to be with you, she'll be with you. She probably should have broke it off a little bit sooner with the other guy if she was. Seriously.
I don't think any time in this movie they actually explained or let you know what the actual relationship was, if it was still going on.
Well, all we know is he says, you said you loved me.
Yeah, it could have been a long time ago.
Well, she said it was 100 years ago.
She had a job and came back. Just because she came back, doesn't mean, hey, I'm yours again.
Well, there it is. But I don't see Ben getting too mad about this, and in this day and age, guys are...
Oh, the microphone's unplugged.
Oh, I would grab you by the neck, man.
Oh, no. We did this twice.
I would rip your ass hairs out.
I'm joking. I always, every time before the show starts, I make sure it's plugged in now. Man. But anyways. Oh, here's where Jason's got the books on, what is it? The History of the Vampires.
Yeah, vampire
and he's got a book down at the bottom, Frankenstein 2's there. See it?
Well, you got it. Yeah, anything.
So I'm not sure what Frankenstein's doing there, but that book's there.
Maybe he was just reading that book. You never know. He might have just been reading that book. So what happens is he starts to hear some noise upstairs, like a rocking chair. I think it's the little rocking ears.
Yeah.
And smartly, he takes a crucifix with him. But he's going to go
Is it a crucifix?
Yeah.
Look like a letter opener.
No, it's crucifix. It's the crucifix from the...
I want one of those old houses, man.
And I love when he gets up there, how long that hallway is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's like 7 rooms down that hall.
2, 4, 5.
This is the house that I need, man, with all my freaking kids. You know? I mean, look, there's the door right at the end there. I'm thinking that's the bathroom. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's at least 5 rooms on whatever that is at the end of the hall.
I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 doors.
Yeah. What? Yeah. It's
you know.
But yeah, I mean, I love to have.
And the doors are really big.
They are.
Oh, I love. He goes into that room and there's Mike, Vampire Mike. And the reason he was able to be in there is because, Jason had invited him into the house already. But I don't know why the Glick boys couldn't get in, because they were invited in as well.
I don't know. But he's sitting there like he's... Yeah, I don't know. But here is where he looks, because he's almost like dead and he's purple and blue.
Oh, I did have a little bit of a bloomin' onion, too.
Oh.
That might be it. But yeah, I mean, I love when he's sitting there in that rocking chair. And the makeup is cool. The effect... It's not shoddy. The eyes are fantastic.
It's like The Thing. I think he's infected.
Yeah, there's that little glare in the eyes. It's there for show.
I tell you what, though, his acting here, Mike's with this, the way he's acting, he keeps
Look at me.
It's so queer. I'm sorry to use the word.
He's. Why don't you even say queer's a word?
Yeah, it doesn't. But it's so. I mean, look at him. It's just it's a bad acting part on his part. Yeah, but I mean, he's overdoing it big time. If there's anything I can put down in this movie, it's this scene with him. Even though he looks cool, his
I would love to get contacts like that.
Yeah,
man. That's it, man. You want to get chicks? That's what you got to do. Have contacts like that. Take your shirt off in daylight and throw glitter on yourself.
Oh,
they'll all come running.
Lord have mercy on my soul.
Oh, I love it. He puts up the crucifix. I revoke my invitation. You will leave. And
he does, and he breaks through the glass.
He basically backs him up to the window. And I do love how in some of these films, like the vampires try to fight the crucifix, like if I can just get around it.
Yeah. I actually can't wait to do some of the hammers, but we'll get.
I tell you what, Turner Classics is showing a bunch of them. You could probably record a bunch of the ones that we might do. I think they're showing Dracula, Prince of Darkness, and I'll make a list.
Right now they are? Okay.
Yeah, do a search. Like in the next couple of weeks, they're showing some. If you got Turner Classic Movies, they're showing some fantastic horror.
We got one more week before Halloween, so
I know. Yeah. Maybe we'll do a run of hammers in between our little favorite ones.
Sounds good.
Something like that. 3-4 weeks of hammers.
I mean, Universal series we did so well.
Yeah, you guys like that. And I really like all the comments we got on there. It seemed like
heck yeah, man.
The people who dug it really dug it, and I'm so grateful for that because
Wolfman, unbelievable. The amount of views and stuff with that.
Well, I mean, that's one of the newer films. Like they remade it,
right?
The Joe Johnston film, and I suspect as they start. I don't know. They're talking about doing that.
Meanwhile, Jason's dying here.
Yeah, Jason's having a heart attack. Yes, after he forces Mike out, the vampire Mike out, he starts to have a heart attack, clutching his chest, and
walk into one room, getting the phone.
They don't show it, but he's going to make it to the. He's going to make it to the phone. He's going to make that phone call.
Yeah, although they cut away from it, and then they're in the jail.
Oh, here we go.
We're at Ted Netters.
We're at about the 2-hour mark, I think, in the film, and here's where we're going to finally see Barlow. This is our first scene. Ned is in jail.
Do they show his face here?
I believe.
Okay, I think you're right.
I believe so.
Okay.
And he's
Ted Netters
chilling out in jail for the night.
Yeah, and he's used to it.
Now, if you were Ben, would you press charges against him? For whooping your butt. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, the landlord could press charges for breaking and entering.
Yeah,
but,
that's true.
Did you feel like you deserved to get punched?
Ooh, there we go. He takes his hand and he just flows it over the lock.
Yeah, because they have that power.
Yeah, and he unlocks it.
There it is. Go. Oh, man. Oh. Did you see that? That rat face, those long teeth, the yellow
Nosferatu. It's exactly like the Nosferatu.
It's certainly reminiscent.
I mean, if that was black and white, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
This is also the same
Max
year
Schlemmer.
that Werner Herzog's Nosferatu, his version of Nosferatu, with
And
Klaus Kinski came out.
And there's a lot of... I think Stephen King, he was watching Dracula one day.
He was teaching it as well. Because he was teaching at the time.
Yeah.
And they were actually studying that book as well.
And he figured, he said, you know, how would it be to bring this to modern day and bring a vampire, like, over into a U.S. city or town or whatever? And
what would happen?
What would happen? And there is there's parts of this movie that harken to Dracula, you know, bringing over the thing, and
having the
Straker is kind of
sort of like the Renfield type
kind
character.
of, yeah, and you know, so there are little remnants of that in here,
right?
So, but not totally. He takes his spin on things, but you do see it. So, Dracula fans unite.
Yeah.
Whatever.
So yeah. We're back at the Glick house.
And Mrs. Glick is going
collapses.
to get a click from her pacemaker. Goes click, click.
She
click,
collapses.
And she falls.
Yeah, every time he tries to change channels on the TV, man, she's having seizures in the back.
What's wrong, Mrs. Glick? Click, click, click. Mrs. Glick.
But when she's collapsed on the floor, her husband picks her up. And she mentions, you know, I'm having dreams. You know, he comes to me, he's giving me kisses and things, and you know exactly what's going on.
And he makes love to her right there because he thinks that she was coming on to him.
Oh my!
Ted, guys, you know what I mean?
I'll make fun of you like you want me to. Oh no!
Jeez, Ted just spilled water on the set.
Oh well.
You gonna be all right, or you all wet?
That's
what she said.
I've got a little bit of precious fluid left. As long as this won't bother you.
No, I'm fine. As long as you're not wet. There's I got another bottle over here if you need one, but
my God, I
got two bottles.
I spilled all my fluids.
You spilled your fluids all over the place.
My fluids.
He didn't. Oh, I ain't even gonna say that. I won't go there.
So we know that obviously one of those Danny is kind of
coming back and getting
off his mom over there.
Yeah.
And I like
how it harkens back to the breastfeeding days.
Well, there you straight from the tap.
Yeah. Mommy, let me.
Mommy. But I like how everyone thinks like you just envision it as a dream.
Right.
Like they all say, "Man, I had a dream last night." You know.
Yeah. Because everybody's getting anemic in the village.
Yeah.
Because all the iron was sucked out.
They all are iron poor over here.
You guys all iron poor.
You got all iron.
That's what the sheriff in the next county over said. You guys all iron poor over there. You're getting anemic.
Oh man, Jason.
No, what's wrong with you guys?
Ben's checking out of the hotel. I like it. You like pay cashier here. Where does that happen today? You go pay when you leave the hospital.
And there's a big window. It says cashier.
Cash only. But Susan shows up and says,
and gives him a big old kiss.
Well, she's like,
and then they made love.
Not in the hallway. She tells him all this bad news first.
And then they make love.
Ned Tibbetts was found dead in his jail cell.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All hell is breaking loose.
Mrs. Glick is here. She's passed out. She's practically half dead with anemia. and Jason had a heart attack, and he's in the intensive care unit.
Oh, my God.
He's stable, but, he's out of it. He can't talk.
And this is pretty much the whole town.
This is look at this.
Oh, I love that clock.
That is weird. Now, this is the church, Father Callahan. They go to talk to Father Callahan about evil in general.
Right, and what does Father Callahan tell them to do?
Well, the church, in the last couple decades, the church is not really believing in evil anymore.
Right.
When does he say evil with a little e?
Yeah, and he tells them, he says, you guys are a young couple, you guys should just go make love.
This is where we're going today. Sorry, kids. It's supposed to be a monster kid show. I originally wanted to call the show The Monster Kids. I think it's...
What? Did you?
Remember how that little picture of those kids in the monster masks?
The Monster Kids is a good title. I don't remember you saying that. I know the Little Monsters.
We came up with that somewhere.
The Monster Kids.
I think I said Monster Kids at first.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Doing what we do, we probably shouldn't have kids in here anyway.
Yeah, maybe.
Unless we really tone ourselves down, and we can't do that.
We tried to have our kids on it once.
Oh. Exactly a year ago, probably, I think, to today.
Probably was about a year ago. Yeah.
We thought, let's get a bunch of cartoons and
Three Stooges, and Little Rascals,
horror stuff together, and dress them up in their Halloween costumes, and we could not keep them shutting up.
They had the attention span of a fart.
I think Gabriella was looking at the camera the whole time like this. and my daughter was just sitting there not doing nothing.
I should,
because she was the oldest one.
Is that still on YouTube somewhere?
No, we got it. I got it though.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, I kept that.
we did. Like, no, that's not up there. Right?
No, I
think I think we lost 85 subscribers.
That was a catastrophe.
What's this? You
what the heck
fickle
are they
fans
doing?
out there.
Where's our movie this week?
You want something different to your own damn show. This is an important part. Here's where I'm going to start talking about it. So Ben and Susan, they have a little talk. They mention,
about making love earlier.
They mention about these vampires, and
sorry,
evidently, yeah, you're out.
Well, they were.
I feel bad for your wife tonight. So evidently, Mark's parents have reached out to Father Callahan as well, because Mark is, I saw Danny.
Yeah.
And they're sitting at the kitchen table having a conversation. Basically, everyone's just trying to tell Danny that it's all in his head.
Right, they're questioning him and saying,
like,
you really didn't see him. You really didn't see him.
The kitchen itself
starts to
just shake.
Yes.
Only in this room.
It's weird. I mean, I'm not sure why that's happening, but for some reason...
Because the master is coming.
I know that, but why all this earthquake stuff going on?
Because he's got the psychic powers. He's trying to shake that priest up, I think.
I mean, stuff is...
He's coming there specifically for the priest.
Evil Dead just broke through the window.
Yeah. It's like just a ball of cloth on the ground.
Oh,
but then
this
it starts
is cool.
to take form. And
it's like the Wicked Witch of the West in
reverse.
Yeah, in reverse. It's growing from the cape.
Right.
And it's going to turn into Nosferatu. And there you go. He just grows real
Barlow,
tall.
right there. Just takes Mark's parents, smashes their heads together. They're dead.
And he is just so cool looking, Ted.
Yes, he
is. This is an awesome vampire.
God. Oh, and Straker, right there. Now,
and his cocky attitude here.
See, Barlow has come here for the priest. All right, that's how I see it.
Okay.
Because this is actually a scene in the book too. To test, are you? And he's taunting the priest. It's like in the book, Barlow did the talking. Here, Straker's doing the talking for him.
Yeah.
He's like, can you match your faith against the master's faith? Throw your cross away. Where
right.
That little trinket, throw it away. And in this moment, facing Barlow, his faith is completely draining from him. Where that cross is going to have no power.
Right, exactly.
And that's why Barlow is able to come up to him and just grab it and take it away.
Right.
Because to Father Callahan, he's lost his faith. He's lost his faith right there.
Right.
He's never faced evil before. It's easy to be a priest and talk about hell and damnation and Satan.
Meanwhile, Mark's parents are dead.
Yeah, and throws Mark to the ground. Throw him to the floor, please.
Yeah, they're not worried about him because they can get whoever they want at any time. I mean,
but it's another thing to come face to face with absolute pure evil and keep your faith.
Yeah.
Because it was all nice when it was in the Bible and it was all just a nice story, but now it's different. Oh my God, it's real.
Yeah,
and this is an important part in the book for sure. We never really learn Father Callahan's fate in the film. Barlow grabs the cross from his hand, doesn't do a thing to him, just throws it on the ground. Because it's nothing now. It means nothing. Whereas when other people use it, if they have faith in it and in its power to ward off the evil, it'll work. But the priest has lost all of it.
Our vampire hunting days.
Yes. In the book, Barlow actually opens his throat a little bit and Callahan drinks some of it, forces Callahan to drink some of his blood. This isn't like where it's going to turn him into a vampire. What it does is it taints his soul to the point where he feels he is just so unclean.
Yeah.
And in the book, he gets on a bus totally shocked and shaken and leaves.
And he's level 1 vampire then.
Well, this is what's going to happen.
Vermin.
Now, we'll try to catch up here. But I'd like to talk about Father Callahan for a minute for some people who don't know how his character continues on in the Dark Tower series. In the Dark Tower series, Father Callahan makes his way to New York, basically lives as a vagrant, homeless guy for a while. But what he finds is that by tasting Barlow's blood, he's able to sense vampires now.
Yeah.
And he learns that there are different types of vampires. There's 3 types. There's type 1, which are like the masters and are damn near immortal. Not necessarily immortal, but damn near. Barlow would have been one of them. Mm-hmm. Then there are when Barlow is creating vampires, he's creating what Callahan finds are type 2 vampires. Mm-hmm. They are not immortal.
Right.
And they can only create like type 2 vampires. And type 3 vampires are not immortal at all. They can't create vampires. They just
feed off of
feed off people, and they can spread disease. And eventually Father Callahan sort of becomes a little bit of a vampire hunter, taking them out in New York City as he can find them. And eventually he gets cornered in an office building by vampires and some bad people, and instead of being...
This is in the book.
Yeah, Dark Tower. I believe Wolves of the Calla. He doesn't show up until the 5th book in the series. Well, yeah. But he ends up jumping out the window, taking his own life, instead of being turned into a vampire. He doesn't die. He wakes up in a place called the Way Station, which you see near the beginning of the first Dark Tower book. Mm-hmm. And the Man in Black, who's a character throughout Dark Tower, gives him a black globe, and that it's a magical object that'll come into play later on in the story. And he's transported to another place in this weird world called Midworld, mm-hmm. to this place called the Calla, and he becomes the priest there. He tries to convert the people there to his religion. He's healing himself. And then when he meets the gunslinger and the main characters, they fight off these... I
have not read the Dark Tower.
What they call the Wolves are these agents of this dark person called the Crimson King. They look like Dr. Doom. Mm-hmm. They ride like mechanical horses, and they have lightsabers. and that's what what the characters say. They look like Dr. Doom. Awesome. They take like all the children, take them away. They screw them up. They're all runt when they come back. Yeah, and whatever. But Father Callahan becomes a character, and if you like Salem's Lot, if you like the Stephen King, the Dark Tower series is actually a way for Stephen King to tie in a lot of his other books. The Stand, mm-hmm. A little bit of Eyes of the Dragon, even a little bit of It. Many of his other books tie into the Dark Tower series.
Interesting. Yeah. So yet to read the Dark Tower mm-hmm. series. So,
but especially I would say Salem's Lot, Insomnia, and The Stand. Are some of the books you'd want to,
It's strange because Father Callahan in the movie didn't play very much of a role at all.
He has a bigger role in the book.
Yeah.
But his character takes on epic proportions later on.
Yeah.
So now we are at the...
to catch you up real quick, we're at the hospital where Ben...
They leave after seeing Jason. But what happens is they go, they've had the conveation with...
okay. This is what I was going to say, though.
Yeah. Okay, we got to build up to it. We got to get up to it.
Okay. You'll know what I'm talking about. We're getting up to it.
Yeah, the doc hasn't really believed the whole bit about vampires yet.
Yeah.
So, but, when he starts finding out that, Mike's bodies disappeared. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, Mike's bodies disappeared. Yes. No, Ned's bodies disappeared from the morgue. Mm-hmm. Now he's starting to maybe believe a little bit.
Oh, yeah. More and more is going on.
They instruct... Susan and her mother, keep all the doors locked, have a crucifix, put like hawthorn, holly, whatever, all over the place because it's one of the plants that'll keep vampires out, garlic, all that jazz. They make their way to the morgue, mm-hmm. and sure enough, the body's gone.
But I love how
Mrs. Glick is laying on the table,
and I love how Ben has 2 tongue depressors.
Yes,
and he's taping them together as a crucifix.
So and he even says some prayers while he's doing it, in the name of the Father. He's not.
Well, after he made it, he started saying it because he kept looking at her over on a thing, and I think he was
23rd Psalm or 26th Psalm, whichever one it is.
I think he was waiting for her body to get raised because he kept saying it, and then eventually she started moving, and she breaks down
again.
Awesome.
Did you see the part where the doc takes the scalpel and slashes her arm? It's like all yellow and pussy inside.
Well, I know in the behind the scenes stuff they were talking about they had to keep reapplying, especially to Barlow, mm-hmm. Because how they made the face, it would like kind of like a clay kind of thing.
Okay.
That it would keep cracking and falling off.
The contacts alone, they said you can only keep them on 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah, but the clay stuff would dry up, fall off, and they'd have to keep reapplying.
Really?
Same thing with her, and you've seen that cut on there where they cut it, and you can kind of see the skin underneath it, kind of a little bit. But yeah, very interesting and very cool.
Right.
And but the scene that got me was when he did start coming after her with the crucifix, so the tongue depressors. She
put it right on the forehead.
Yeah, and
which is right from Fright Night.
Right, Fright Night. Yep.
A little bit of Fright Night there.
Yep. And so she basically backs up and vanishes.
Yeah.
Disappears. I thought that was probably one of the more odd parts of the movie.
Maybe that's what happens to Type 2 vampires in this series. I don't recall what happens in the book. How they fade away.
Whatever the reason.
In Buffy, you stab them, they turn to dust and poof away. I mean...
Yeah, but to disappear like that...
It's not much different.
Sign of the times, 1979. What else are they going to do for special effects? I can see it. I'll let it go. But it made no sense to me that she would just disappear. But, the whole thing, you stab a vampire or get rid of... Well, first of all, they didn't even destroy her. She should have backed out just like... Mike did in the, and out the window and stuff. But she just disappeared. And then things moved like a poltergeist was there and flipped over and fell down on the ground. And it was very odd, very strange. Yeah. And I don't know.
That's how
it got me. And I'm very upset about it now. And I'll never watch this movie ever again.
Oh, blasphemy. You know, this is Alice Cooper's favorite horror movie? Shock rocker Alice Cooper says this is
believe it. This is awesome.
Absolutely.
No.
What do? They go back to the house. Susan, everybody, they're all safe. He kind of explains what's going on, and I mean, who can I should even back up by saying even as they're driving home from the morgue, even the doctor, it's like his whole, everything that he thought was real, it's all just shaken. He's like, I saw it, but it makes no sense. I can't believe it.
He's in shock. Yeah,
absolutely. Whereas who wouldn't be?
And what happens is Ben goes to
Let's go tell the police.
Yeah, let's go tell the police. He goes there, and the deputy guy's there is just sleeping, and he's like tired and stuff. So he's probably been bitten.
He said, I had a dream Ned came to visit me.
Yeah. So
he's like, man, I just didn't sleep. I've had a dream Ned came to visit me last night.
So basically, they're taking over the town. Yeah. I think Ben realizes
mentions that the constable's not here. He's like, it's first day he hasn't shown up to work
ever. Yeah, which is funny because wait till we get to...
Well, yeah, it's like the next scene. He goes like to his house. He's packing up.
He's taking
his family out of here.
He's in a station wagon,
and he doesn't even really know what's going on. He just knows something's going on.
Yeah, he's throwing a broom in there, the fans and everything. Yeah. And, his wife's just sitting there in the inside of the car.
Yeah. And, come on, Clancy.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Here's Susan. She's going. Where's she going? I forget.
I think Ben's there, and they're going to make love.
Jesus.
And
why not? This getting me
look at that doorbell thing where you would turn.
My folks had one of those,
and that is awesome.
Because I remember I got locked out of the house on prom night, coming home late. I had to turn that thing for about 20 minutes. They had one in their house. Yeah. When I was in high school, there was a bell on the other side, and it went through the door. And
you turned it thing like a bike almost thing. It would make that metal sound.
It made that sort of not quite as high pitched, but
kind of toned down metal Tony.
Toned down metal Tony. Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, and if you got real mad, you'd just twist it back and forth. So what's going down there? Where is she at? She's at
she's looking to get her lingerie on.
She's at the boarding house. Was she looking for Ben?
Yes, looking for Ben. She's looking at his work and. She's really taken away his copyright.
Say all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
The Shining.
Yeah.
That would be a hard one to do. There's a lot of long, drawn out, atmospheric moments.
But that's just a Kubrick masterpiece.
Sure is. We should do Eyes Wide Shut.
Hey, you want to talk about the Illuminati? That'll keep you busy in that movie, man.
I love that movie. Well, Nicole Kidman.
It's just a fantastic movie altogether, though.
Oh, no, without a doubt.
Imagining the fact that Warner Brothers had the balls to mess with it, to censor it, but they waited till Kubrick died. And, even that was... you guys, if you've never seen Eyes Wide, there's a whole lot more going on in Eyes Wide Shut than meets the eye. Yeah. And Kubrick was really trying to say something in that movie. Mm-hmm. And even if you know a little bit about some of the scenes that were cut out and filmed, he was exposing things. Yep. And I have a feeling that he might have met his end a little prematurely. Whew. But family won't say anything.
We're getting a little deep.
I mean, how odd. Yeah, he finishes cutting the film and you're going to die. No, and then they go and they didn't like cut big scenes, but they censored little things here and there in the movie. But it's all back to whack now.
Yep.
So what's going down here? She's looking for Ben, and the
landlady girl. She
mentions
she's anemic too.
I had a dream about Weasel back when he was young and handsome, and he was just kissing my neck, and it's all going down, man.
You would think that somebody would get wind of this in the surrounding cities or suburbs.
They're very isolated.
And and they'd get a pharmaceutical...
What are you going to do? Call people and say, we got a vampire problem out here? Can you send, get the working man?
Get a pharmaceutical rep in to bring some iron, pills and stuff like that, They probably sold out.
Yeah, they sold out.
Yeah, I would show a line at the pharmacy, the local drugstore, with people in line.
Just go to the local gym and just start licking the weights or something. Chipping it off there.
Licking the weights.
Ben has told Susan previously.
Susan Boyle from American Idol.
Oh my!
She makes her first appearance in this thing. I don't know how she got this part. Susan Boyle.
I don't even know who that is.
I
don't watch any of those
American Idol winner, but.
I've never watched an episode of that show in my life.
Okay.
Ever.
Well, Susan comes here in her nice
what I
swaying green shirt.
Ben has told her what the plan is, that he wants her and her mother to leave.
Yes.
Go to their mother's, who's like in Boston or somewhere else.
And the only time to get him is in the daylight.
Me and your father, we have to go and we have to destroy Barlow. Ben has a friend out in California who's all into all that hooey stuff, and that's what he told me. You got to kill the master vampire. You got to kill him before sunset.
Yep.
And you got to stake him through the heart. The classic example. For some reason, Susan and her mother don't leave.
Yeah.
Susan goes to the house.
Yeah, I don't know why she goes. Just because she looked out the window, out of the boarding house.
Yeah.
And something
drew her there. Something drew her there. And she happens to see Mark. Because Mark, when Barlow killed Mark's parents in the kitchen, he said, I'm going to kill you. And he ran.
Which was cool because he was not scared of that vampire at all, Barlow.
He's got
was
guts.
Not scared.
He went to go attack him and got thrown down. And Callahan kind of, as far as we know in the movie...
Callahan, say.
If we just go based on the film, Callahan basically sacrifices his life so Mark can escape.
Mm-hmm.
But she sees...
You okay?
I'm digging for one of my little lozenges in my pocket.
You need another water?
No. Okay. I'll just suck on this for a little while.
Speaking of Susan. What?
Speaking of sucking, what?
Mark opens it up. He's got a lock set.
The kid knows what he's doing.
To burglarize locks.
Yeah.
Open locks and all kinds.
Opens that lock, gets down to the cellar.
Well, I guess he's a he's a magician, works on magic and stuff like that. So you would have to know how to pick locks and stuff like that. So he has that. He goes
Who doesn't?
Yeah, I got my set.
I walked in this house when you guys are asleep. I just picked the lock and sit in that rocking chair. Just
imagine. Oh my Lord.
Eat some of your chips.
What would you do if you woke up one morning and I'm just sitting in a chair like this?
What are you doing here, man?
Pull out the rifle. Oh, my God. We've seen too many horror shows.
I guess so.
Oh, my God.
So what happens? Susan, she gets in.
Yeah.
She follows. Mark doesn't see her.
But she's following him. And it's funny. This is almost like a Scooby-Doo episode.
Sort of.
She's walking up the
steps. One runs in, the other one runs in.
Yeah, one goes through a door, the other one goes upstairs.
Mark comes, he's prepared, man. He's got like a satchel. He's got stakes.
Oh,
dude's ready. And here's we're gonna finally see the inside of the house.
Oh, and what is on the wall?
I don't know if that's black mold or
that's some thick black mold, man.
And I love how earlier in the film they ask, Straker, how do you like living in that house? Needs work.
Needs work.
Boy, you ain't kidding. It needs to be burnt down and rebuilt.
Oh yeah, I mean this place is just, oh my god, disgusting. But she's
There's
walking.
all kinds of growth. It looks like chicken feathers on the ground there.
Yeah, Texas chainsaw.
It's got that look. It's got the look.
It's got my pretty baby in my book.
I still don't know why she
my
came
party's
to this house.
jamming. My body's hecka slamming. She goes good. They're making love in beds.
I don't even know one word in that song, man. Except
Well, I hardly knew the words either. Right?
Look at look in my book. That's it. I don't know anything else he's saying.
So Susan holds her stomach.
This
she's
seals
pregnant,
her doom
but,
right here being in this house.
You blew it. There's the whole story now.
Turn it off.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a pheasant.
Basically, her and Mark are running all around this house.
Looking for Barlow.
Yeah, and like I said, she's going from room to room. She's hearing Mark, and as she walks out from the one room, you can see Mark above her on the second level.
Mm-hmm.
And a big wind does come through the chimney, and I don't know what that's all about.
Man, no one closed the flue.
Because Barlow's kind of, it's daytime. He's still nesting.
He's in his weakened state right now.
Yeah, but Mark goes and walks across the other side.
I wouldn't be going upstairs. I'd immediately be looking down in that basement. He's got to be down.
Oh no! The first thing I said was
they're always in the lowest level.
Yeah, first thing I said was, why are they? They need to be close to the earth. I mean, for the most part, you would think.
Why is there a drawer full of eyes?
Yeah, and rats. Rats. I mean, the rats went, let's go find a drawer.
Yeah, how come those things aren't trying to bite them?
Food. And why is there a dog up on there?
Like impaled on the antlers?
I mean, yeah, there's... The inside of this house has got, like, antlers, all kinds of heads of, like,
leftovers
bobcats.
from Texas Chainsaw or something.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of stuff.
Toby's like, here, I got some leftovers.
Yeah, it could be.
You realize he did Funhouse after this movie? We did it a few weeks ago.
Couple, yeah.
Yeah, Funhouse
right
after this. Because he did so good on this, we're going to give you Funhouse.
Well, it was made for TV, and to give him his film. Yeah, I mean, he's true. That's probably
when this was going to be a theatrical film, he had some good directors wanting to do it, but no good script. No good script.
Moose looks like paper mache. Yeah, there looks like a lot
man, look at that. She goes upstairs and Mark jumps out of her room about to drive that stake through her heart.
Doesn't it look like a lot of fresh taxidermy is on? Like, look at the table there with that cat. I mean,
maybe it's Straker's hobby. Maybe
it could. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe Straker's doing taxidermy and stuff.
It probably makes sense with all the animals in there. I mean, who's going to do that?
Makes you wonder why he killed that dog though and just left it there.
Well, he can't put that in the store.
Well,
Mike walks in there, forget about it.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we're supposed to forget about,
I know.
who killed that dog.
But James at 15, Mark and Susan are sitting there, and yeah, I liked how he jumped out and nearly stayed there.
Oh, it's you.
But, yeah.
This is building up here. This is where it slows down a little bit. Even though this is the climax.
Yeah, we're going, hey, let's fall asleep here.
We've been doing this for 2 hours and 45 minutes already.
Had myself some chips. Hey, man.
You know what? We're almost at 3 hours and this has flown by.
We are, you know me.
Mm-hmm.
So what?
Oh, hot damn. What just happened here?
Oh, he flies into the room. And Straker is there.
Yep, he goes into a room. Yep.
Straker Mark falls down and knocks him out.
He knocked him out.
But Susan, this is the last we see of her, and he basically takes her by the arm and walks her out the door. Yep. You don't ever see her again until
the end.
The very end.
Till the end of the film.
Yeah. And
he's just look at man. He's
I didn't know you had a thing for old guys like that.
Well, if it's James Mason or Vincent Price or someone like that, I mean, how can you not?
Wow, man, I'm just amazed. But
so he's got Mark all tied up. Little does he know, Mark knows how to get out of ropes and things.
And I was going to say, he's got him really tied up.
For the average person, yeah, he probably is. But
we're talking S&M stuff, and I mean, this is very.
It's like he's almost hogtied, but he's in a chair.
Yeah.
And he asks where Susan is. He's like, I took her to meet the man that she came here to meet.
Right.
She came here to meet him.
And
he's going to enjoy her very much.
He dusts off his little jacket. And meanwhile, he's going to have some respiratory issues after this.
I mean, living in this house with all this mold, forget about it.
But he immediately
look at him. He's all focused.
Yeah, he's
and he knows, and that's true. What he's doing is actually true. When you tied up in ropes, most people that know how to get you just keep moving. You just got to keep moving and
break your shoulder.
That was even in Broadway Danny Rose. Yeah, when he and Mia Farrow are getting out of the ropes,
she said, "Keep moving, keep moving."
Yeah, keep gyrating against him. Even when he's loose, he's like, "Now keep doing it."
You just saw this. Oh, here, and we finally do come to...
this is the part we were talking about where the constable's packing up his family and leaving here. Look, he's got the rakes and the brooms.
Yeah, of all the things he would bring, he'd bring an old...
There's no furniture.
Rake. I know.
He brought the broom and the rake, but there's, not a chair.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is the most important thing.
I don't know. And you got to have that fan. Wherever they're going, it's going to be hot.
And look at the family in there. They just took them off the set of some, house down the street.
Yeah, I mean, that kid back there, they don't look the least bit worried. Just like, I don't know, Dad's just...
No, big old feathered hair. And look, and when we get to his wife, you does go...
Hey, you going to stay? You staying in town? He's like, yeah. I think he's trying to, elicit his help a little bit.
Yeah, and he does give him the gun.
Gives him a pistol, yeah.
Gives Ben the gun.
This works really well against vampires.
But when he gets it, he gives his wife the fan.
Hold this goddamn fan.
And she looks like she'd give him a whap across the lip.
Yeah, looks like Honey Boo Boo's mom, man.
That's exactly it.
And
he's hollering, "You're just going to leave?"
Ben should pop off a few rounds at the car.
I know.
As it's driving by. Hey, Dad, come on.
Well, look, he jumps in the Jeep and just throws the gun, too.
You notice
Imagine if it went off.
You notice that in this movie, 9 times out of 10, that Jeep door doesn't close. Wham, wham. He's always going to do it. I'd take the cop car. It's probably got a better engine in it.
You know what? Really? Well, he's comfortable with his Jeep.
I guess. Jeep people are Jeep people. Yeah. I know that.
But yeah, he does slam that door quite a few times, and it just pops right back.
How many times does he close it, turns around, has to close it again?
Or just leaves it open because he's going
so fast. Yeah, that's what's going to happen here. Hell with it.
Well, right here, he pulls in between. He doesn't even,
God.
look for a parking. He just...
it took me a long time to get my driver's because that's how I was parking.
See, right there, the door's open. It's right
close.
open. You didn't know how to parallel park?
They didn't make me parallel park when I got my license. You had to do the cones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's parallel parking.
In a manner of speaking. They don't make you do it for real with real cars.
Oh, I know that.
Like they used to.
But you couldn't do it?
Well, I have a license, so obviously
You still can't do it.
No. What I like to do is whenever you drive by the mall and there's that dad in the parking lot trying to teach a kid. I wish I could just zip in there and go whoop, whoop, back out real quick, show how easy it is.
Do it real fast and just take off.
Yeah. Knock all their damn cones down.
Oh, Ted, that would be so hilarious. It's like a jackass thing, And they would be going what the heck's going on there?
Oh, God. What did we miss? Mark is getting loose of the ropes.
Yeah.
Because he knows how to do that. Ben shows up at the hospital to pick up the doc.
We did forget to mention, the doc's with Ben right now going to the Marsten House.
And they stop on the way at the church.
Yeah, and Susan earlier in the show, if you forget, when he was at the hospital, he did promise him, she said, if you do get Barlow, the vampire, and kill him, I will make love to you.
Oh, my God.
So that's why...
I'll make love to you like you want me to. And I'll hold you tight, baby, all through the night. That was my class song at graduation.
Okay. That song I don't know, so I couldn't
I wanted
sing
it to be Sick of You by Guar, but...
Sick of you!
Sick of you. I'm so sick of you.
This is where he's Ben does come there, and he's gets scared. Oh, and Mark...
They get some holy water at the church. I love it. Doc asked him, is it blessed? He's like, well, it's holy water.
Exactly, that's what he says.
It's holy water.
Yeah, he's like, it's holy water. I mean, come on.
So, they get up to the house. They're about to go in the front door, and Mark just comes running out. Mm-hmm. He got loose of them ropes. He didn't even try to help Susan.
No, he didn't look for nothing.
Scared to death, man.
Kid. I mean, yeah.
And Ben grabs him and is like, run, get out of here.
Yeah.
And
he said, go to Chicago. Find your mother.
Go to Chicago. Yeah, he should be halfway to
Timbuktu.
Toluga by now, but
Toluga
with that dog from what was that movie from Friday the 13th Part 5 or whatever, 4 or whatever.
Yeah, we see Mark run out the front door. We never see him again.
Yep.
Until James at 16. Well, that was before this.
He plucks up his courage. Like you can tell, he's like going back and forth, and he goes back in there, man. I give that kid some credit, man. He's a tough kid.
Yeah. And what was this scene is going to be like? What's the movie we did where the vampire was it Fright Night?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's where Straker comes down here, and he's
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, that was Fright Night. His the vampire, I forgot the guy's name, but his Straker.
Yeah.
Where they unload the gun in him like 85 times. But he ended up being like something that wasn't human anyway, some other weird thing.
Yeah, didn't he like kind of melt and everything? And
Sorta.
Bones and goo, and it was really weird.
I think so.
We're like,
really
what?
Weird.
It was weird. It was like green goose, Sandy. You know what I'm saying?
Look, he's even looking at his hands. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I wouldn't even touch that.
I'm going to need some disinfectant.
Yeah.
So he's going to go upstairs, and he's going up there completely unarmed. No stake, no cross, no nothing.
Yeah, he says...
Ben's got the whole satchel full of everything.
He's got the gun. I don't understand what's going on. And I don't even understand why they're showing him. This scene is kind of drawn out with him walking up the steps.
They had to, stretch it out a little bit in this
I was waiting for somebody... like Barlow or something to reach up through the steps and grab his leg and pull him through, or him to fall through.
It's all about the mood, man. This is, even though it's a vampire movie, it's
look
also
at the back
a
of the
haunted
scene.
house movie too.
Back of the scene right there, that wall.
Yes,
it's just it's loaded with horns.
What other movie did we do where someone got killed that way?
Lost Boys went into the.
Oh yeah, Lost Boys
went right
Lost
into
Boys.
the.
That's what I'm. Yep, that's what
deer
I'm. Deer
antlers.
Yep, there you go. There's another thing they stole.
There you go.
No, I'm serious.
Well,
yeah. So Mark comes back in, and Ben's like, "I told you to leave." He's no, I'm not gonna leave. And you respect the kid. All right, man. You want to stay? I'd be like, yeah, we could probably use the help. Here's a pointed stick. Let's go. We're like the Scooby Gang.
The more help, the better. Zoink! Say Scooby's upstairs, Jack Straker.
And Buffy, that's what they called themselves. They call themselves the Scooby Gang.
And Jack Straker comes out.
Oh, here he comes out there.
Jack Reaper.
He has a bit of a weird end, man. He grabs Dr. Norton.
This is where you find out he's got more power than just an ordinary guy.
Yeah, he's pissed off, man.
He pushes him all the way back
right to the end of that hallway and just pushes him into those antlers.
And why all those antlers are there, I have no idea.
Well, they sure came in handy.
Well, they did, but the purpose behind it to begin with was weird.
They were kind of artistically placed.
Yeah, I guess. But this is where Straker starts coming down the
steps. Does he pick up a chair leg there?
Yeah, or a railing, like a wooden railing part. Yeah.
They make a good bludgeon, and
they start shooting him.
Yeah, no squibs in this movie, though.
And he starts coming.
That's one thing Dawn of the Dead had that this movie didn't have. Squibs. Pew! You see the blood spurts when you get shot.
Yeah.
Here, nothing. But James Mason is looking like he's having a little bit of pain, a little bit of gas pain here. And as he
the indigestion is
he takes those 6 bullets. He don't fall.
No.
And he doesn't even go backwards for a couple of them.
Right.
They have no impact on him whatsoever.
But you can tell, that last one's really thick because he runs out of bullets. Mm-hmm. And Straker's still coming down after them.
Right.
But he does fall towards the bottom of the step.
It looks like he's trying to grab another rail, man.
Why does he need another rail when he's got one already that he just dropped that's next to him?
He dropped it.
It's next to him. That one he would have to tear off of the railing.
I don't know, man. People do weird things when they're dying, man. The one thing we forgot to mention
I dropped this, but I'm remembering I need one of those.
Remember when they did that background check? They do mention
how come he didn't disappear? But anyway.
Because he's not a vampire.
Right, I know. Concubine,
they do mention that Barlow and Straker had been partners since the 40s. So just imagine, he was probably like in his 20s at that time, and he's been with this vampire ever since.
Yeah.
Probably promised.
I love this too.
Yeah, they took the steps out in the cellar.
Yeah.
And
Mark fell face first over into the ground.
Oh!
And
it's not a far fall, but man, you're gonna screw your ankle up with that.
We're getting to one of my favorite, most memorable.
Yeah, that we were talking about earlier. So they, sure they're there to kill the vampire, but he's also looking for Susan as well because they know because Mark said he's got Susan. Susan's in there. Also, when they're in this cellar,
why does that look a lot? Okay, once they're down in a room, it looks a lot lower. The steps area up to that door. Maybe it was just the effect of the camera angle. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a lot shorter.
Sounds about right to me.
Ooh, and there's that little door.
Ah, the little door.
With the...
Leads to Wonderland.
Oh, my God, yeah.
But they realize, they're losing
door.
time. They're losing time. It's starting to get dark.
And they look up at the
Why can't you do this like at
windows.
noon? Why do you have to do it like right before sunset?
You know what? I was going to say the same thing.
Like, why can't you get there like first thing in the morning?
Exactly.
I don't know.
Give yourself plenty of time.
Yeah,
let's not hit it.
I don't like this racing against the clock.
Yeah, let's not hit it right like 3 hours before the sun's going to set.
I guess.
But I think he feels the air and the cold air draft coming out of there.
Yes.
Yes. And for some reason he says this is it. Maybe because he feels that it's cold. I don't know.
Or it's an obvious place. But I mean if Barlow's in there, obviously it's got to be Straker who unlocks the door every evening to let Barlow out. But it seems like an obvious place.
And I guess he keeps him locked up just so nobody can get to him.
Maybe somewhat that, but I don't know. That one scene, I got the feeling that...
You got the feeling,
he was a little bit, even though he's in awe of them and, he's his caretakers, he's a little, afraid of them.
all of them.
Oh. So let's see. What we could? Oh, look at this, man! I like this part. He pulls out that holy water, just to have it handy because he's going to bust the lock on the fruit cellar door. And when he drops the bottle of holy water, and it starts smoking on the ground.
It looks like
the ground itself is evil.
Yeah,
that whole area there is now blessed.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, because
why consecrated ground?
Why else would the holy water do that? Yeah, it starts burning and everything, and it just dropped on the floor of the house.
Yep, 3-4 good whacks. He's got that lock open.
Yeah,
and look, it's still smoking right there. Look at that.
Oh yeah, it's mercury.
Mercury.
It goes. Oh man, look at this crawl space. This little fruit cellar, whatever it is. It's a big area, though. I mean, for a little. But this is a big house, so...
It's true. And then look at this. There's the coffin. But all the people who have been turned... Well, I should say most of the people who have been turned into vampires...
Are laying around in this room.
Not in coffins, but just lying around.
Thrown about, yeah. And this... Oh, my God.
Look there's Danny.
Yes.
I saw Mike back there.
Yep. And you see the coffin, it's just... like no coffin you've ever seen.
Nah, it's old and decrepit.
It's weird, yeah. It's a...
It's old, man.
It's old, that's for sure, and it's different. It's a different style coffin I've ever seen. But...
Barlow could be, centuries and centuries old.
Right,
so
right. So who knows where he got one from?
He might have got it in Babylon or something like that, for all we know.
Yeah, true. Because it looks kind of like made out of the same kind of stuff the house is like concrete,
almost like clay. Yeah, I was just gonna say it looked like clay.
Yeah, something like that. But they said, we got to get this out of here. He goes, it weighs a ton. Mark says.
Yeah.
But Ben goes over and starts moving.
Man, why is he gotta take it? Oh, I guess they gotta kind of take it out of the room there. But
yeah, and
you don't want to do it with all them other vampires just sitting there.
Exactly. Yeah. But this is wasting time though.
Yeah,
too,
Mark's not even helping.
He
dropping
says,
steaks.
Well, he says push.
Around.
He says push. Help push.
Yeah, do something, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I guess, at least there's a little bit of sunlight here. What little bit is left.
Oh, they're covered in dust. Dirt.
Covered in dust and dirt. All we are is dust in the wind. Oh, what are we doing? Man, I'm tired of talking. Let's just watch the rest of the movie.
It's almost over. We are exactly at the 3-hour mark.
If we do any of my favorite movies, we're going to hit one that's about 3 hours. So
yeah, I know which one that is. We'll keep you guys.
But there's not one dull minute in it.
Oh, I probably won't get you to stop talking about it. It's your favorite.
Ooh, orgy-tastic.
He finally gets it open, and there he is.
Look at that, man. Look at that teeth, man. That guy needs an orthodontist.
Oh, that is. You know what? The teeth on this. They did an awesome job.
Yes,
I think
they
on
did,
the
man. Look at when that coffin opens.
Okay, and he stabs him in the.
Yeah, he just gets that look on his face that he wakes up.
Yeah,
and he pushes Mark out of the way and kind of just like elbows him in the face to get him back down. And he's working that steak, just getting it in there. And I love like a lot of the, especially happens in like Hammer movies.
Yeah.
Every time they do a steak, it's always like in the stomach.
Right.
It's never in the heart.
It's never in the
heart. Here they do it in the right place.
Yeah, he starts pounding and pounding.
Yes, but now look in the background.
And this is what I remember as a child, seeing this.
Mark's laying there watching him stake Barlow.
Yes, and they're all crawling out towards it very slowly towards where Mark is, where the little door is.
Yep, you can start seeing they're really blurry in the background when they start getting closer.
But that's what, for some reason, that's what stuck out.
Well, I tell you what, that's a scary scene right there.
It is, and that's the one I remember.
Yep, that's creepy.
So he jumps up and tries to close it, and I think he puts a screwdriver in through the thing and all that. And
you better hurry, buddy.
Yes.
Because Ben ain't got no time to help you. Because he's going to town, man. Look at it.
He's still hitting it. And the thing still isn't really dying. I think he finally got it.
These are vampires of the first type, man. They're pretty powerful.
We're gonna find out, too, that just killing that Barlow doesn't take care of any of the other vampires.
No, it does not.
Which is...
They're all weaker than Barlow.
Right.
They'd probably be easier to kill.
Yeah.
You know,
but it's different.
I kind of see them as kind of weak and stupid.
Yeah.
You know?
Little different than we see before with other, you know.
And Barlow, instead of disappearing, just sort of deteriorates.
Yeah.
I like that effect. I like.
It's almost like a latex, like burning kind of thing going down.
I'm not sure how they achieve that, but you know, obviously the little layers come off and it gets down basically to bone, and then it just kind of shatters
And I like and they're going to get ready, they're going to burn the whole place down.
Right. So. Now, I think in the book, whereas the film started where they were like in Guatemala, or I think they're in Mexico or something in the book. Uh-huh. And they're on the run, of course. And it's later on that they come back to Salem's Lot. It's been completely overrun by vampires, and they set like a brush fire that's going to burn the whole town down. So I think it kind of happens in a little bit of a different order here. Okay. Like I think when they kill him, they just hightail it out of there.
Yeah. No, you see the fire go and burn up the whole.
I think this is actually smarter.
Yeah.
Burn the house down,
and you hear the other vampires and stuff actually screaming.
But you also see like some windows bust open, and you know some of them are getting out.
Yeah. I mean, use your imagination. I mean,
I think it's pretty. I think they make it obvious with showing the windows busting open that.
And evidently, there's vampires in other parts of the town.
Yeah,
too,
that may not be here.
Yeah.
And because I don't think they've set the whole town afire. Right.
No,
it was just
a house,
which is honestly what I would probably do: scorch the earth. You know, it's the only way to be sure.
But. I mean, who's to know? I mean, vampires roaming the whole globe. Well, but these ones are after them.
Yeah, so. As they're pulling away in the Jeep, you know, they make, you know... I think they both realize that they haven't gotten them all.
Yeah.
And that they're going to be hunted. They're going to be after them. And, you know, the best thing for us to do is stick together and just, you know, get out of here.
Yeah.
And, you know, take off. Leave Salem's Lot. And then it's I think we're jumping a little bit ahead. I think it's the very first time it's happened in this movie.
Really?
Where we're going to get to the epilogue.
Oh, yeah.
The epilogue is going to take place, you know, right where we left them at the beginning, in the church, filling up the holy water bottles.
Yeah.
And they start glowing.
Yes, right, taking off right from where we started.
Yeah, but you know, we get some more extended shots of the house all
the fire
burning up, and
burning.
like I said, right here is where we're gonna see the windows bust open. You hear the vampire screams and voices and all that. They're gonna get out.
They go, Susanna, make a love to me.
Oh my God.
You make a love to me with big toppers. You coppers.
No way to talk.
Yeah, why are they? I know, whatever.
That ain't no way to talk.
I've said way worse. Then we get a great shot of the moon.
I love that shot of the moon.
It's a lovely blue moon.
That's how the movie ends, too, man. We get a good shot of the moon.
Yeah. So
shoot the moon.
So we're...
back at Zamiko. I forgot the name of the town.
Yeah, 2 years,
Zamiko,
2 years later.
As I was saying,
we started, sequel to the Dark Towers series.
What?
What?
No Dark Tower here.
This
is just where they're...
Holy, as hell.
Oh, yeah. Holy
Preacher
water.
series.
And
it's a good show.
I like how it glows. I wonder.
Oh,
it kind of reminds me of Bilbo's sword in The Hobbit.
Yeah,
you know, it glows when orcs are nearby.
Right? Yeah, the holy water glows basically
when vampires are near.
Although, why wasn't it glowing when they took it out when they were down by Barlow's? It just burned.
Maybe they just didn't show us.
Could be because he brung it out and it fell immediately.
So this is the part that we have to be getting where.
So what do you think that light is in that holy water? You think that's the spirit of the God?
Of the God?
Or of God?
I don't know.
Of spirit of Jesus Christ, maybe. Mother Mary.
I don't know, but it's a handy clue to have.
Okay.
And so again, this is where Mark says, we have to go further. They're still on the run. I mean, they're probably killing these vampires when and where they can.
Right.
But it's like we gotta go further. They're tracking us down here to Guatemala. This ain't no good. We gotta. But
they actually stopped filming too for 2 years just so the kid could grow a little bit older
and get his hair a little fixed
and
up.
Finish it. Well, you know what? They come to a little tiny hut.
I think this is where they live.
Brick adobe house.
This is their little house where they've been shacking up.
Well, yeah, somebody else wants to shack up there too and make a love.
Yeah, well, when they get in there, it's almost like when they walk in here, they can feel the presence. They know that one's in there.
Yeah, I mean, and Mark, the kid, walks over to the one side of the house, and so does Ben. Yeah. But what do they end up hearing something around the corner?
Yep.
And it looks a lot bigger than from the outside. Yeah, from the outside it looked like
it's like a TARDIS. And the inside's a lot bigger than the outside. What's it? He gives
Doctor Who?
Yeah,
TARDIS?
Yeah, that dude.
The TARDIS?
He's tardy.
Oh,
he's
TARDIS.
He's always late.
TARDIS. Oh, they bring out the holy water and it's growing. It's glowing like it's never glowed before.
Gives it to Mark, man.
That's how I looked the other day.
Were you glowing?
Yeah, they said, you're glowing like you've never glowed before.
Aw.
I said, oh, that's so sweet.
You must have got some good news.
Yeah, what was the grocery clerk?
Yeah.
We're at the tail end here.
Man, this was a long one.
Over 3 hours, but... Ooh!
Oh, there's Susan laying on his bed. Now, we got to know what she is right now.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's pretty obvious.
But see, he's still...
He's so taken aback. I mean, because...
And she's just laying there, so
because he never knew her fate,
right? Right.
They didn't find her. They didn't have time.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is, she starts talking to him and everything, but she won't open her eyes.
Yeah. It took me so long to find you. Oh. I crossed oceans of time to find you.
And she's all in silk.
Oh man, yeah. I think she's looking better here than at any other point in the movie.
You think?
Yeah. I mean, that dress does really good, man. It's
baby oil and whatever.
And when she finally does, he's getting closer, man. He's setting that bag down, man. He's mesmerized.
He's setting Baghdad.
His bag down.
Oh, he's getting down.
Baghdad.
He's setting his bag down.
And she's gonna open them eyes and come after him with them fangs.
Sorry guys, I'm just giving a look.
Watching that there.
It's a shame that he couldn't take care of his hair throughout the 2 years after he left.
It looks exactly the same. It's just a little mussed up right now, but
a little more tan too for being in Guatemala.
Well, it's south of the border.
Well, they had tanning machines back then.
Oh, there's the eyes.
Yeah, she opens them.
There's the fangs. Give me a kiss.
Oh, and she's all made
kiss
up.
Kiss me.
She's got that glossy Revlon makeup lipstick.
Oh yeah.
Very
yeah, man. He ain't backing off.
Oh, but Mark is going.
But you know what he's doing. You know what he's doing.
Well,
he knows. He knows what he's got to do.
Mark's going to take in.
What?
Mark comes behind him.
Mark.
Mark does it. You don't remember the ending of this? What's wrong with you? Look at that concubine and those things.
Getting up there close to bite your neck.
There comes Mark.
Good old Mark. Good old Mark with the stick.
Oh, wait. Was that him? That was Ben?
I told you it was Ben.
I thought that was Mark coming over his shoulder.
Don't I remember the end of the movie. He had a steak out of that bag. He was kind of holding it. Because he knew what he had to do. Ben's not stupid.
Some reason I thought he was being pulled in. And
he left Mark in the other room just as protection. I don't know. It's almost like he sensed who it was.
And he let him take care of her.
That's right. It was only appropriate. Now his hair looks better.
I know.
Yep.
When he got up, he probably flipped it back because they're in Guatemala and on the run and letting it long and. Even Mark has his hair just, nice
you better
long.
pack up your stuff here. He's got his typewriter, no paper. What is he writing? He's still writing about that damn Marsten House. And they gather up their stuff, and it's time to. They gotta go deeper.
40-pound bag of rice.
You gotta have something
to take with them. Did you see that?
Yeah, well, you gotta have. He's making him carry it, and we're just gonna get outside the leaves waving, and then finally it'll pan up to the moon, and we'll get a little shot of a little skull inside the moon. You remember that?
Oh, I don't think I remember the little skull on the moon.
It'll be coming. Yeah, we zip through the trees, and you expect something to pop out of those, but nothing.
Well, yeah, because we get a hurricane every time, something happens.
Every time.
But at this point in the show, you guys are probably going, "Whoa, my God, falling asleep."
No one stuck it through those. Nobody did.
Come back and
there we go.
Whatever.
There's the moon, and then you get a little skull in there.
What's that for?
Well, I don't know. It's scary.
Oh my God!
And that's it, man. The end of the damn movie.
Salem's. That's Salem's Lot.
I love this movie.
Over 3 hours long.
This is probably maybe the fourth time or so I've seen it. Today, not counting watching it again for the show.
No,
but, I think I just like it more and more every time I watch it. I think I just appreciate it more now.
Oh yeah, I mean
the mood and the atmosphere as opposed to the scares and the gore and the build-up.
Right. I mean, there was really none of that. Maybe a couple scenes, but, it was made for TV back in 1979.
Really,
so
economy of storytelling. There's really nothing in here that didn't need to be in here. I mean, just chop, 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 chop. Everything's pretty essential for the story.
Yeah.
So, makes me want to read the book again, which I probably will eventually. But
I gotta get on the books. I gotta get on the Doctor. Well, I should probably read a lot of the novels before I even get into the Dark Tower series.
I would say as long as you've read The Stand and Salem's Lot before you tackle the Dark Tower, you're fine. And not even so much. I mean, those two especially, I think are most helpful because of the characters that are in there that play a role in Dark Tower.
Cool.
So there we go.
Yeah, there
We've got next week.
Long one. Next week we're
Halloween. On Halloween night, we are here with Halloween.
Yes. Live streaming.
We usually stay away from these. This isn't like our...
Yeah.
We don't usually go for the big name brand horror movies, but... I don't know what the hell... What the hell are we going to be able to tell them about Halloween that they don't already know? We'll find something.
Oh, yeah. No, we will.
If not, we'll just goof on it the whole time. Maybe that, but you can chime in there.
Yeah, we'll have fun. Hopefully people will be there in a little, chat, and we'll just, talk with you guys too and stuff. Yeah. So it'll be a little fun. We haven't, like I said, we haven't done no live stream in a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Throw out some questions, if you want. Ask us what who knows.
He's too distracted reading the comments the whole time, and I'm watching this movie again.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because I can't see him from over here. I can't see a bloody thing.
Well,
I don't know who's talking.
Put binocular glasses on.
I should have my big Coke bottles. So anyways, Halloween night, we'll be back. He'll put up the time, and we'll be on time.
Yes, we will.
I got to work, but I'll be here after work. And
I believe 9 p.m.
Might have to. We'll do 9? Yeah, we could do about 9.
Is that the right time?
Yeah, it's enough time to get the kids home from tricks or treats and
there you go.
Get them undressed.
We'll talk about it. It'll be
we'll
listed.
Have a good time.
So catch us on iTunes.
Yes.
Listening to us, catch us on YouTube. Subscribe. So there you go. Long Salem's Lot marathon.
Hope you stayed for the whole thing because it was a kick-ass movie.
It was. We started getting a little tired there towards the end.
It is a long movie to talk about the whole time.
Yeah,
but I talked more than people who do normal commentaries.
Oh hell yeah, we did.
Man, there's no dead air here.
Heck no. There's nonstop talking. Anyways, here we go. Later, guys.
Out.